Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to the final battle.
So, when last we left off, I was frankly embarrassing myself against this final boss. He's not really that hard. Once you get through the first few turns, it really shouldn't be nearly as hard as it seemed when I was doing it. And the reason that it seemed so hard is that I was very tired and very stupid. So one of the things is that with the Kali Ring, I already meet the magic defense threshold on Varan. I mean, the 739 is plenty to handle the AoE damage that's going to be coming in. So why on earth do I have an Amaranthine Ring when obviously I should unequip this Bubble Ring, slap that over on him, and give him something? What am I giving him? Let's see. He's already got one Amaranthine Ring. Does he need another? Wouldn't hurt. His magic defense is shit. His physical defense isn't great either, actually. Okay, so I think we're going to go with this. So we're going to make another attempt on this boss. I'm going to get an idea of what I need to do to, you know, have a good shot at him. And we'll see how it goes. I also have my nutritional supplement here, the delicious Mountain Dew. And we are, I think, good to go. Okay. Welcome to the Void. This is the resting place for all the souls that exist on Terra. For some, it is a place of torment, while for others it grants eternal peace. As I had hoped, you have overcome every obstacle to meet me here, where our final battle shall be waged. I can see some of my strength reflected in you, but you are truly naive. You are unaware of the power of this place. You must die by my blade, and your blood shall grant me eternal life on Earth. I just realized that he doesn't actually have a blade, so if I need to die by his blade, he's doing it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to be heading for not quite as much damage as I thought I was. So it's going to take somewhere around, I'd say, 50-ish rounds for me to take out his second form. Somewhere between 50 and 60 rounds is what I'd guess. And do I want to keep hitting this guy, or do I actually want to guard a few turns to get Varan topped up? Honestly, I'm just gonna keep beating on him for now. If Varan gets insta-gibbed in the next fight, then y'all can laugh at me. So, Phase 1 is done. And now we're moving on to Phase 2. Mwahaha, you fool! I have absorbed the souls of the mighty demons that I summoned forth to Terra that you slew. I have become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I am the most powerful trainer in the... Never mind. Wrong game. Okay. So, first things first. What do I need to do? We need to cast Dark Ward. Is Dark Ward what we want? Yeah, fuck other shit. We can get Dark Ward first. No, we can't. We have to attack with everybody. Everybody attack. Don't nuke me into Oblivion. Okay, he didn't nuke me into Oblivion, but he did cancel all of my regen. And we did not get the int debuff on him, which is a serious, serious issue. So the other thing we're going to cast is Sidestep, because the possibility of taking him out is good. Hey, God Mode. And we are going to cast our Dark Wards. And let's take a look. How long does this last? This lasts for 5 turns, so this is going to deal half of my HP in damage over the course of its duration. Did he attack? No. He needs to attack. I'm probably going to die here, but he might use a physical attack. And he used a physical attack that killed me, so that is attempt number 1. All done. So let's... Now that we've had that first attempt, which went slightly awry, let's try to do a little bit better. I did save, right? Yes. So, unfortunately, this first turn is more trouble than I would have anticipated because of the fact that while normally he wouldn't get one-shot by that, he's actually one-shottable by that because of the fact that in turn 1, he doesn't have his appropriate defenses up. So, he should be having a thingamabobber on, and he doesn't until later. So, just keep stabbing, just keep stabbing. Yeah, the other thing that we're getting is this fight also gives us a bunch of mana regen as well. So, unfortunately, we have quite a few spells that we need to get off the ground before we're in sort of a stable position. I'm actually surprised, though, that he took quite that much damage. Yeah, Megaton Explosion is not something he can use on round 1 if I'm going to survive. That is unfortunate. But once we get through the first couple of rounds and we've got all of our buffs and debuffs running, we should be okay. The only person who should be one-shottable after we get past this sort of like initial section of the fight is Sordrel. Everyone else should be... What am I doing? We are apparently wasting a bunch of time. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, whatever. There's so many things that can insta-give me on turn 1 in the next fight that I don't think it's necessarily worth it to wait around during this fight to get myself in the best possible position. Because even if I'm at full HP, that he's still one-shottable by half the tools this guy has in his arsenal. So we're going to use whatever that was, and we're going to attack and attack and attack. We need to get these debuffs off before he can use anything really dangerous. Grim Reaper comes out, we get the imp debuff, we do not get the attack power debuff, so physical attacks are still very dangerous right now, but magic attacks are also super dangerous, now that I think about it, because I don't have Dark Ward active. So we need to get Dark Ward up on both of them, and we need to use a behind enemy lines... Yes. I did not get Commonaton's debuff on. Oh, God. The pain. Okay, so... Magic is safe now. We can go ahead and attack him. And we're going to use Adamantine Vest, I believe. Should I? No. I think I want to use Human Shield. If I use Human Shield, I think that'll give me enough defense on him to... Shit. My life is sad. Oh well. Let's try this again. So, once we get the agility debuffs in there, and basically get things running properly, we should be okay. The key is that we have to get to that point. Let's see. And he actually would have survived if he hadn't been hit by Giant Killer by this guy in this round 1. Which is particularly funny, because I had just said that it wasn't really worth waiting on the heals. And I don't think on average it is, because there's just too much bad shit that can happen. But in that particular situation, he would have survived with enough HP that he could have gotten all of his spells off and gotten himself in a good position to recover. There we go. So phase 1 is over. Phase 2. We are going to use Nirvana first. So he's using Giant Killer, that's great. We got the attack power reduction, we did not get the other one. We're going to go ahead and use Citadel before we use Dark Ward, because he still needs to attack. He can't use Dark Ward yet. So we're going to go ahead and get behind enemy lines off. The hope here is that he uses a physical attack this round, and he did. So since he used a physical attack, that gave us the opportunity to get more of our spells off, and now we're in much better position to continue on. So we're going to go ahead and use a sidestep because I forgot to do that, and we're going to have the double Dark Ward come out. I also want to check. Yes, he needs Dark Ward to be sure. We're going to hamstring. Sidestep is out. Hellfire is out. Unfortunately, that's a triple. That's a triple effect right there. He got it on 3 different targets. On the plus side, we can use Healing Trance on him. And let's go ahead and do that. And he's already used this, but we need to use Adamantine Vest now. He's got a very low max HP tally, which is gonna hurt us. So I'm doing between 3,500, so I'm doing about 4k per round after... So, no, I'm not doing 4k, I'm doing 28k a round. And let's see here. What am I doing? I'm gonna use a Citadel. And he's gonna attack. So the Megaton Explosion comes out. It does hit Veron for 8 points of damage, which is suboptimal, but 8 damage is fine. He's like 1 magic defense away from where he needs to be or something stupid small like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cast a Cure on him. Am I? I can't afford to. I need him to attack. I'm gonna do a Healing Steel. It's not a huge amount of HP. But the goal here... Oh, son of a bitch. That's bad. That is bad timing. So we're gonna keep Citadel up. Dark Ward. I'm gonna cast a Healing Steel. This is really dangerous. Him having Genius means that if he hits me with a spell right now, I am in deep fucking shit. I don't know how the int debuff and the int thinger stack, but regardless of how they stack, it's going to end up very badly for me. So behind enemy lines needs to be recast. Okay, so I was wrong. I'm fine. I'm wondering, I almost feel like this effect is, what's the word? Doing a weird interaction that I wasn't expecting. It feels to me like this is stacking with itself in some way, and thus making me better off than I would be otherwise. But I'm clearly just a crazy person, don't mind me. At any rate, let's see, we can go ahead and continue beating on him. We have 1 turn on Citadel, which means that now is the time to use a Mana Sacrifice before we lose the ability to. Destroy Armor comes out on Kamanatin. It does not do a lot of damage, but it's a big deal because he has a lot of defense, and that's... Okay, so Citadel is this turn. So Grim Reaper comes out. That's completely pointless. Citadel comes out. And we need Dark Ward again, so Dark Ward's coming out. Behind enemy lines and Hamstring are both out. He's using Grim Reaper again. So we have Sentinel for 1 more turn. We're going to go ahead and attack with everybody. Not him, obviously. Oh, shit! I double-clicked. Ugh. It's fine, he didn't use a physical attack, but it could have been very bad. So, unfortunately, this does mean that I'm going to be behind on reapplying my debuffs, but this time I'm playing it particularly safe. So I do have the Sentinel effect active as well as the other one. What the hell? Oh, he used something that decreases my attack power. Okay. Like, why am I hitting for such trash damage? What is this crap? Okay, so 1 more turn on Destroy Armor. We're going to go ahead and just attack. We're going to attack, I guess. We're going to Hamstring. So Vampirism comes out and does nothing. That is what I like to see. Let's take a look. Citadel needs to be recast, and then Dark Ward. So Devastation comes out to Oberon, and it hits for 2,300 damage, which is pretty substantial. Let's see, we can now recast Dark Ward. $116 damage coming out to Sordrell, which is effectively no damage at all. I like that. Now, we have 1 more turn on Sentinel. We're going to go ahead and attack this turn. Annihilation comes out on Oberon, but we don't have to give a shit. Okay, this turn is Sentinel turn. Smite comes out, doesn't do any damage. So this turn is a free turn, yes? Yep, free turn today. So we can go ahead and cast Mana Sacrifice. And... behind enemy lines. So that's a miss, but it's okay. We're allowed to miss every now and then, as long as we don't miss too many turns in a row. We're going to go ahead and recast Citadel. He's going to attack, and we're going to use a Hamstring. So Dark Ward needs to be recast this round. So this is the attack turn again. As long as nothing particularly interesting happens, like, for instance, him casting Genius on himself, As long as nothing terribly interesting happens, I should be able to largely just keep up a pretty standard set of attacks and spells. And that is not a good combination. So we've got degeneration effects going out at the same time that he is at maximum damage potential. So that concerns me, but there's not really much I can do about it. So on the plus side, even with Genius, he wasn't really hitting anybody for damage except Varan. And Varan, he was hitting for about half the base damage of the spell, I believe. A little less than that. So we should be in good shape. I'm going to go ahead. I don't need to swap mana over yet. So we should be fine. Okay, so he needs to just attack, I guess. And I can use some of these rounds to use Juggernaut if I want, but I'm being a little careful with my mana use right now. Let's see. So now's the time for Dark Ward. Oh shit, I just guarded. God damn it. Well, on the plus side, I guarded on the turn that is best for me to have him guard. We did not reapply our effect. I wasn't intending to guard there. I never really intend to guard with him. It's just that sometimes I push the button and it for slightly too long, and then it automatically goes down to the next one. So let's see here. This looks familiar. So behind enemy lines needs to come out, and we got both of those effects out. So we can now recast Sentinel. And I missed the hamstring, unfortunately. He's recasting Genius on himself. I just missed with my axe, which is not a good thing. Gonna go ahead and recast Mana Sacrifice. Try to get this effect on him. And that Annihilation hit hard. So, what am I doing? Recasting Citadel. There's really not a huge amount that I can do here. I can have him guard, though. Hellfire comes out, and unfortunately, that degeneration effect is on everybody. So we can recast Dark Ward. And we can have him guard, because he needs to... He died. How close am I to winning? I'm curious. I guess I shouldn't even try. When fights are this long, it's a considerable time regardless. Okay, so unfortunately, we lost that fight. We had too much damage coming into the Rogue. The Rogue is perpetually sort of the weakest link right now, because he doesn't have anything like Dark Ward. So he doesn't have anything that allows him to really just trivialize the magic damage, which everyone else has access to some ability like that. Not every class, but every character in my party has access to something like that. So, I don't really know that I need to change up the strat very much. That was some particularly bad luck in having him get hit with multiple single target effects like that. I'm actually going to check my rows after this one, because I should have him in the back row, because he's taking a lot of damage from these nukes. And Sordrell has less HP than him, so he's more vulnerable to the physical attacks. But the magic attacks he's less susceptible to. I'm not going to put Sordrell in the front row if he's not there already, but I definitely want Veron in the back row. So first turn is just the attack turn. Everybody needs to do their best. Implosion comes out on Veron, does not kill. It's a good thing he casted Implosion and not something more powerful, but we got all of the effects off on the first turn, which is a good sign. Now, the next thing we need to do is cast a Citadel and get, since he's at full life, do we want to cast... Can us cast Dark Ward first, because that's the thing to do that's sensible. We're going to use Behind Enemy Lines, drop his attack power. The hope here is that he doesn't go after Veron, and he uses Grim Reaper. Totally useless. You know, it's tempting to let the Thief die, but I can't let the Thief die for more than one purpose. The reason that he can't die is he needs to keep the Reprisal Whip and the other effects on, because otherwise people are one-shottable by physical. The other reason is because I went through the entire game with this nobody's allowed to die thing. I can't let him die now. So, let's see. We now need to cast Citadel. And he doesn't... Yes, he does. He needs to cast Adamantine Vest. And he needs to cast Hamstring. So we've got our debuffs on properly now. Unfortunately, he just used Genius. And that's going to be painful for me if he starts casting spells. We're going to follow up with... Are we? Yes, we're going to use a Sentinel now. So Vampirism is coming out, doesn't do anything. How much magic defense do you have, friend? 1072. Yeah, he's pretty far up there. Alright, so we're going to recast this, and by recast I mean attack, because that's how I get that effect off. And he's already gotten his effects out, so I think he's just going to guard. He's pretty low on HP right now. I don't really want to see what happens when a Genius Annihilation hits him in the face. Just doesn't seem like a good plan for me. So we just reapplied our debuffs. We still have an extra turn here. I'm actually going to cast a Juggernaut on Sordrell, because RNG in this fight can kill me, and thus will kill me eventually. At some point, he's going to use a combination of attacks that kills Veron, or some other character, and he can't use a lot of with regards to killing other people, but he can do it. So rather than idly accept that, we need to get our shit in order. So we gotta use a Citadel here. Attack. He needs to reapply Behind Enemy Lines. Now, Oberon unfortunately did just get debuffed, but that's okay. So, Sentinel is this turn. And Hamstring. So Giant Killer just came out to Oberon, which is particularly bad because he just got his defense lowered. So that's unfortunate, but I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Let's see. We can go ahead and use a Mana Sacrifice, because we can. I'm going to have him guard. He's been reapplying his effect pretty regularly, and so it should be still active for quite a while. Atomic Flare comes out and does nothing. Get a mana sacrifice out there. So, destroy armor for 1 turn. I'm gonna have him reapply. Okay, so Smite comes out, and we've definitely reapplied all of our buffs here. So Juggernaut is wearing off this turn, but so is Dark Ward. So we're gonna get Dark Ward back up. Alright. So Dark Ward's coming back, and we are going to continue attacking. Let's take a look here. We need to recast Citadel. Okay. So Citadel's back out. We need to recast Sentinel. Get behind enemy lines up. Smite's coming out for nothing. I don't know how long it's been since I did a normal attack, so we're gonna do that. You know what? We're not. We're actually gonna cast Juggernaut first, and then we're gonna do a normal attack. I like to live dangerously. I actually generally do not like to live dangerously. Living dangerously is not a thing that I recommend nor endorse. Alright, so now we need to attack. And let's see. Yeah, we still got the Enfeebling Knife on, we're fine. Let's see here. We got... Oh, right, we haven't actually cast it yet. What? What just happened? Did I just guard or something? What the hell? No, I think I reapplied the effect. Okay. I don't know what I did there. I don't like Giant Killer on him. So recasting Sentinel. Grim Reaper's coming out. Nothing special there. And he needs to cast Juggernaut on Sordrell. Ban enemy lines? Yeah. So Ground Slam comes out and reduces my attack power, unfortunately, but hey, we're getting Juggernaut out at the same time, so that's good at least. Let's see. So we need to just go ahead and... No. We need to use a Mana Sacrifice. I probably should not have used that physical attack there, actually. Or sorry, use that Juggernaut there. The Enfeebling Knife effect is still on. So Citadel's wearing off on this turn for him, but it's wearing off next turn for everyone else. He does not have Enfeebling Knife on him right now. Why doesn't he have any of the attack effects on? No, he does. Reprisal Whip is on. Where is the other one? What the hell? How many times have I missed with this axe? Or have I been guarding with the Oberon? No, I haven't been guarding with him. What the hell? I didn't see the effect on him, but maybe it was on it. I just didn't notice. Okay, so we now have a dangerous turn where Komanaton, at the very least... Yeah, Komanaton does not have Citadel, but everyone else does. So we're going to have a turn without Citadel and a turn without Sentinel for him this round. Which is obviously suboptimal. So we need to recast Hamstring. So we're casting Sentinel. And you can see that we've definitely overused our Sentinel, or sorry, not Sentinel, our Juggernaut effect. Unfortunately, we're a little low on mana right now. So it's behind, yes. So Dark Ward needs to go out. I'm realizing that I should really just have Ron reapply his effects more frequently. There's not a lot of reason to wait for the effect to wear off to reapply it, since he can do it as much as he wants. And let's see. Damn. Wow, that was a lot of misses. We need to cast Citadel. Oh god, I missed with a Reprisal Whip. I'm not liking that at all. The Enfeebling Knife effect is still active, luckily. Unfortunately, it's definitely going to drop. I can't afford to not use a mana sacrifice because I need to get that effect off. The amount of damage that he can chug out with his physical or with his magic attacks is too high for me to justify not using Dark Ward at the turn that it becomes available. But eventually, Enfeebling Knife is going to wear off because I've had to do so much other stuff because he keeps missing. So luckily, Grim Reaper is continuously coming out, and it's completely pointless. The entire party's immune to it. And we now have a turn to attack with, and we have not had it wear off, shockingly enough. So we can Hamstring, get this reapplied. Unfortunately, we got a burn on everybody except Oberon, who wouldn't care that much anyway. So we need to recast Citadel. So I've just reactivated the Reprisal Whip. This turn I'm going to do a Healing Steel, I think. No, I'm not. I need to use Behind Enemy Lines. So we're going to recast Sentinel. Okay, so we have Dark Ward in one turn. We can go ahead and attack. Okay, so we need to cast Dark Ward again. I'm gonna use one more Healing Steel. And then I need to get back to smacking it. Okay. So, we have one turn to just chill for free. There we go. Got all of our debuffs active. Now, we need to recast Citadel. So Sentinel needs to come out. Attack. Devil's Breath coming out. That's a good waste of a turn for him. Okay, so we've got another free turn here, but we don't actually, because we actually need to use Mana Sacrifice here. Which is a trouble, because we do not have enough mana to maintain this schedule. We're going to have to stop using... Oh shit, I didn't use Behind Enemy Lines. We need to stop using Sentinel in our rotation completely, because we just can't afford it. We don't have the mana to keep that in the rotation. So let's take a look. We need to recast Dark Ward. Dark Ward, is that what I'm looking for? Yes. And unfortunately, we've got both effects off of him now. You know, it's funny because a friend of mine, I mentioned the fact that my healer had half mana for the start of this fight. And I'm like, but don't worry, it won't matter because I have unlimited mana for this fight. And then I'm looking and I'm like, well, unlimited and limited are only like 2 letters away from each other, so it's pretty much the same thing. So, I'm not recasting Sentinel because I can't. I cannot afford it. So everybody's attacking. So Smite comes out and misses, which is good because I don't want to know how much damage that would do if I didn't have Sentinel cast, because I don't have Sentinel cast right now. And we don't want to find out what happens. So we're going to go ahead and use a Mana Sacrifice, because we just hit this thing in the face a second ago. And what is it, behind? Yes, behind. So we need to reapply Behind Enemy Lines. They got a destroy armor on Varan, which is unfortunate, but it's better than Sordrell. Okay, so I'm actually going to reapply hamstring. So we're reapplying Dark Ward. And as long as I keep Hamstring and Reprisal Whip on the target, the other attack I always can get off first, so I shouldn't have any problems where I'm behind there. So we're just going to go ahead and keep doing this. We've got Destroy Armor. Boom! Dark Lord's done. So we got 455 gold. We got this thief achievement, the Grey Mage achievement. This is not so how it was supposed to end. I have lived for nearly 1,000 years and seen many more in the endless cycles created by the well's portals. To be halted at the final step after coming so far is truly cruel. You can't understand the singular importance of my mission. The path to immortality, everyone dreams of it, and I had almost achieved it. I've sacrificed so much, and it all seems so meaningless. There is no sacrificing what you did, Gabriel. I have seen visions of your life, and it has been nothing more than a madman's holocaust. I only lament that your death did not come soon enough for many innocent Terrans that you murdered. Stab him in the heart, even though I'm a monk. Okay, you know, it's fine. And so that's that boss. He's actually not as bad as Kali. I don't think. As Gabriel's soul leaves his body, the evil taint is also removed. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I spent a great portion of my existence feverishly pursuing immortality, and yet, like all others, here I lie, losing my breathing grasp on Terra? There must be some inherent suffering in immortality, yet isn't there inescapable suffering in the living? I assure you I'm as lucid as ever, aware of my atrocities and most ruefully aware of the absence of the meaningful result. What lesson is there in this? I've been living a living Alexandrian library which you have now burned to the ground. I do not blame you for this. But for my embers know this, existence and death are insurmountably cruel in their mystery. Gabriel's soul is absorbed by the Well of Souls, and a portal to Earth is opening. This may be the only opportunity to get home. Boop. Father, you're home! What's up? It was a long trip. I can't wait to put up my feet. Why don't you warm yourself by the fire? Wonderful idea. Please join me by the fire. We can relax while thinking about how awesome Sordrell is. Where's Sordrell? I'm not sure, but I have a good feeling. I think maybe he made his way home. The fire feels great. I thought my bones would be frozen solid after the freezing conditions on the ship ride back from Midgard. Why were you in Midgard in the first place? I would ask the King of Midgard for his help against the Pandorans. But you left before they even invaded Oakwood. How did you know? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It seemed to be worth the effort, though. The townspeople are thrilled to have the Pandoran troops pushed out of Oakwood. Indeed. Are you going to watch the parade later today? Of course, but I'll have to leave soon afterwards. Looks like everyone's enjoying themselves, even though those mines are going off. More fireworks! Yes! Where'd you find those wonderful fireworks, Dante? A gift from the King of Midgard. They're wonderful. Good riddance to the Pandorans. Let's do another victory lap around Oakwood. Great idea, young lad. I have a really good feeling about this. You always have a good feeling. The perpetual optimist. Let's just wait and see. Better that than a pessimist like you. Let's go. You didn't forget the bombs again, did you? Of course not, I'm fully prepared this time. Set the explosives. Let's see what's inside. Oh shit, it's a Balrog! Ah! Big brother! I think we've hit the mother lode. Yes, we're set for life. This is gonna take forever to cart out of here. What are you gonna do with your share? I'm gonna refurbish the ancient ruins and turn it into my own private castle. Did you hear something? No, what did it sound like? It sounds like something on the other side of that wall. Who the hell are you fellows? We might ask you the same thing. Wait, I think I know him. Don't you live in the oasis just in the north of the desert mountains? That's right. Seems we've got ourselves a bit of a quandary here. I don't think so. We were here first. Therefore, this is our claim. We'll see about that. Damn. No one needs to buy my merchandise since those bastards killed the pirate who was bullying the townspeople. You say you're going to explore the southern continent? Can I tag along? Of course. I'd love to have some female company. I don't have to worry anymore about townspeople since the pirate was killed. Tourism has really picked up since the pirate was crushed by those travelers. The new expansion to the inn is nearly finished. We'll be able to house nearly 3 times as many tourists. That's wonderful! Whoa. Whoops. Whoops, that's the wrong word. Sorry, one second, I'm screwing around with my windows. Windows just decided to, like, completely throw everything for a loop. Okay. This town's really starting to grow, with the threat of violence hovering over us like a dark cloud. Indeed! I'll finally have time to start my project to bridge the river south of the lake. If I charge just 1 gold per passage, I'll be one of the richest men in the continent. I find that unlikely. At the Hunters Guild in Alpine. It's been a wild ride since Sordrell joined the Hunters Guild. Yeah, I knew there was something special about him when he defeated the Goblin King more than a year ago. Impressive. I knew he was a good hunter, but I didn't think that he was anything special until he defeated the Death Mage approximately 8 months back. That was a great victory, and then his defeat of Dracula and the Dreadeye. Amazing. His defeat of Kali gives him a godlike status. Who would have thought that an evil veneer would return within our lifetimes and that it would be defeated by a mere mortal? Or 4. Nothing will surprise me again after the adventures of the last year and a half. Sordrell is certainly the greatest hunter to ever walk these halls. Greater even than Ajax? Amazingly, yes. We might be out of business soon. Sordrell has made Terra as peaceful as I've ever seen it. Grr, it's getting chilly outside. The fire really warms my bones. Wow, it's snowing hard outside. I've never experienced nature like this when I was living in Doria. As the great philosopher Milonicus wrote, there is no greater satisfaction to be had than in living successfully on one's own terms. Can I get you anything, honey? How about a glass of milk? I can't leave the dock right now. The fish have been amazing the last few days. Of course, it'll only be a moment. This might be a record haul. We won't have to fish for several months after this. Don't I know it? And since the Pandorans have been driven back to the northern continent, there isn't a threat that our trade route to Doria will be interrupted. I heard that Atticus and his Spartans were key in pushing back the Pandorans. Not just Atticus. I heard that Sordrell was also responsible for killing General Thanatos. I didn't realize I was in the presence of greatness when he visited so many months ago. How about Sordrell took out the entire army by himself? Well, with the other 4, but close enough. I learned a lot about Ilva's situation. Thank goodness for Sordrell and his companions. I can die a happy man now. Okay. In a mysterious cave between the central and eastern continents. So few travelers ever come to test their strength. I had no idea how true the words of the previous keeper were. It is an extremely lonely existence protecting these sealed gates. I should have shared the true existence of the previous keeper with Sordrell when he's completed the 9th gate. Terra deserves to know how Aurelius truly died. I wonder how far the line of keepers goes back. Who protected this place prior to Aurelius? I missed so much of human events. Was Sordrell finally able to find the Antimantium and fulfill my father's wish? I guess I probably should have said hi to him after that at some point. Whoops. Dinner is ready, love. Wonderful, I'm starving. Also, shouldn't his brothers be visiting him? Because I told both his brothers where he is. What is this crap? They just don't want to visit their brother? They're terrible siblings. Things were a bit tense with the Pandoran conquest and the strange creature that was dwelling in our well. Surprisingly, it seems that the fellow Sordrell had a hand in both. We owe him a debt of great thanks that we'll never be able to repay. I don't think that in the history of any narrative that I've ever written, this many people have been thankful of Sordrel. I'll always remember the souls that were lost when Mount Terror erupted, but we must rebuild Rubicon. I'll rebuild my wonderful seafront home, and it'll be twice as big. I had such faith that Sordrel would defuse the bomb. There couldn't have been anything he could have done based on his record since that day. I hope he was successful in his quest. Yeah, maybe you should have sent an engineer along, just saying. In the alchemy wing of the Asgard Castle. Monk, go defuse a bomb. I don't understand this contraption at all. I just punch. Anyway, life is finally back to normal. The Pandorans have been pushed out of Asgard thanks to the efforts of the Spartans, Dorians, and Midgardians. I can finally return to my research. I know I'm on the verge of a major breakthrough. We may be seeing a major boom in technological advances, such as hasn't been seen in over 1,000 years. We could reverse engineer the amazing technology of the airship and reproduce it 1,000-fold. Perhaps one day every person could have one, or every armory could have 1,000, and crush everyone who doesn't have one beneath their feet. And then there are reported sightings of a bizarre device that can delve with lethal waves. These are truly exciting times. You three individuals epitomize the spirit of Asgard. Your dedication to the crown led to my eventual escape and rescue. Thank you, Your Majesty. Unfortunately, the mysterious warrior Sordrel could not be here to share in our celebration. Yes, but luckily I had a chance to thank him and his companions when they escorted me safely to Doria. Very good, Your Majesty. Cassius, please come forward and accept the Golden Cross as a sign of the Kingdom of Asgard's deep appreciation for your abiding loyalty. It was our duty as Asgardians. Thank you, Your Majesty. The only reward we need is your safe return to the throne, Your Majesty. It's an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. What a light winter it's been. It should have been a wonderful summer. I suppose it hasn't been as bad as it could have been. The threat of Pandoran rule has dissipated. The legend of Sordrel will live forever in the Savior's Terra. His name will be remembered along with Atticus, Dante, and the others who stood against the tyranny of Pandora. Yeah, let's ignore Komanitin, Varan, that other guy, Oberon. Also, I don't think he's a chocobo anymore. I don't know what removed that. We don't have to worry any longer. Peace has returned to the land. Good riddance to Octavius, Hannibal, and Thanatos. Damn, I can't believe that fellow completed my maze. I spent 20 years creating that diabolical labyrinth, and he solved it with the greatest of ease. The winter in these mountains is quite cold. The fire needs to be built up. Suppose it's back to the drawing board. My next effort will be 10 times as difficult. No one will ever solve it, thus confirming my unequaled genius. Home sweet home. It's unfortunate that townspeople couldn't have been of more assistance. What? Did she have another thing? I still can't thank Sordrel and his companions enough for driving those monsters from my underground. Okay. I nearly forgot how nice it is to have new faces around here. I get so tired of looking at your ugly mugs all the time. The feeling's mutual. You're right, though. Humans aren't bad company. Before Mandrew and Sordrel, we lived very insular lives. Perhaps we should visit Talos Village. Many humans live in that village. I don't know. Humans are strange beings. They're often irrational and violent. We shouldn't make this decision hastily. Dwarf Elder, I mean no disrespect, but I don't actually know your name, sir. I must dispute these claims. They may be the views of the elder majority, but I can find no evidence that humans should not be trusted. I think we should be set out to Talos Village immediately and meet the humans who live there. And then they will immediately attack you because you look different than them, and then you will be sad. But then you'll kill them easily because you have adamantium, so that's useful at least. Bartender, let's have another round of drinks to celebrate the downfall of Pandora. Just one more round? I'll have 3. I'll have some mutton and mashed potatoes. Atticus may have finally overshadows his father. His military genius led to the victory of Dorian-Midgard military alliance. I heard Sordrel was also involved in the death of General Thanatos. Good riddance to that madman. Who do you think will take over the control of the kingdom of Pandora now that General Thanatos is dead? Bartender, another round. You know the dangerous monsters that popped up a few months ago are starting to disappear. Soon it will be safe enough to travel to Crescent Canyon. I've started on my history of the last few It'll be the most read tome in centuries. This hot cocoa is delicious. Random. I finally feel safe enough to wander outside the village. Perhaps I'll venture outside Onlak in the coming weeks. That's wonderful. Would you like to visit the frozen cave with me? The floors are covered in ice. It's wonderful fun, right up until you run into the goddamn mind flayers. Oh, wait, wrong cave. So apparently, The Well of Souls does exist? This changes our whole understanding of religion and philosophy. I've finally done it! I've slain a mythic snow slug. They're so rare they've only seen for a single week during the entire year, and only between the Twin Lakes on this continent. There are traders on the black market who will pay handsomely for the snow slug slime. I can finally head back to Asgard and build the theater that my brother and I have always dreamed of building. I look forward to warmer climates. Welcome to my humble item shop. Welcome, welcome. Oh, shit. They walked right by. Well, since the barrier around Crescent Canyon has been broken, it's become an amazing tourist attraction. It all started when that odd fellow Sir Drell stopped here. I wish I could shake his hand and thank him properly for the booming business. Oh, well, I'd best return to my shop so that I can entertain my guests. I never feared Pandora, knowing that Midgard was to the north. Those mighty warriors would never bow to the will of a madman like General Thanatos. Ha, you're a damn fool. Pandora conquered Asgard without Pandora did? Not Pandoran? Anyway, without blinking an eye, we could all be under Pandoran rule right now. And we owe our freedom to warriors like Atticus and Sordrell. Atticus commanded our brave soldiers, while Sordrell decapitated the Pandoran Empire, destroyed their entire army, apparently, and killed Thanatos. And the king. I don't believe the rumors, though. The Well of Souls, please. It's an amazing enough story without adding idiotic embellishments like that. It certainly makes for a compelling story. It'll be one that I'll be telling my children when they get older. On another subject, the monsters are scattering around town, and I think it might be time to revive the laboratory to the south. That ramshackle bunch of bricks? What could you possibly see in that place? It's been deserted for decades. Can't you see the good in anything? Don't you have to be so hasty to rush to judgment? What do you have in mind? To revive it for its original purpose, the creation of the submersible device. Very good, I'm up for an adventure. Can't believe I let you fools drag me out here. What the hell are we doing here? Shut up, you old fool. Nobody forced you to come. This place is great. It's really not that bad a shape. The bones are still sturdy. It just needs a good cleaning. Unfortunately, the plans for the submersible are gone because I already took them. Ding. Don't step on any rusty metals. I don't want to have to treat any of you for tetanus. Well, we know what needs to be done. Let's get to work. Good day. Have you heard the latest news? No, what happened? It seems the war between the humans has reached a conclusion. The kingdoms of Dora and Midgard banded together and drove back the kingdom of Pandora. Humans are so strange. What possesses them to be so violent towards their fellow kind? Yes, no matter how long we study their kind, we'll never understand them. Thus we must eradicate them, kill them all, and then we shall be safe from them. She did say their own kind, so... Anyway, it seems that humans have discovered the Well of Souls. Do you think they're wise enough to handle it? I'm not sure. Some of their kind show incredible wisdom and compassion, while others seem to be filled with pure evil. Only time will tell. I suppose you're correct. We'll remain safe in our eyrie, and continue to record the history of Terra. You know what's interesting? There's so many different ways that people spell this word. Are there multiple... Oh, shit, is it multiple words? I wonder if eerie and airy are different words. To Google! I need to Google this, because this is important information that clearly we need to find out in the middle of the ending of this game. So, that is that. Okay, no, so this is just a misspelling. Okay, so that's not how an eerie is spelled. Okay. Nailed it. Anyway. Is it time for us to follow the path of Vanir? I've spoken with the Queen, and she believes that although our time in Terra is not long, we still have our purpose here. I yearn to know what lies beyond the veil. To walk in the mystery that is the Well of Souls in the footsteps of the Vanir would be the greatest of adventures. No one knows what lies on the other side. The time will come soon. I never thought I would see the day when the Grey Moa was beaten. Sordrell is the greatest Moa rider I've seen in my life. I have to agree. It was a tight race, but Sordrell improved upon what seemed like the perfection that was the Grey Moa's racing technique. You'd think that the Grey Moa would have a rider, but apparently it's just riding on its own. Do you think there will be a rematch? I've heard odd rumors that Sordrell was involved in the war against Pandora. Must be some kind of mix-up, though. Maybe it's just someone with the same name. Anyway, I haven't seen him for quite a while now. And what about his friend that was, like, turned into stone and a chocobo at the same time? I haven't seen him either. Ah, Tiamat, it's glorious to have you home. These past centuries have been very lonely. Also, you blend in way too well, Tiamat. Thank you, Bahamut. I must thank Sordrell and his companions for freeing me from the landslide in the mines of Vergar. Yes, I searched so far and wide, but never would have found you so deep under Terra's surface, especially in such a dangerous area. Yeah, dangerous to you, I'm sure. I feel that my soul has been revived. I can never repay Sordrell for freeing you. We must go visit the dwarves soon, but we'll be careful not to get caught in any landslides. I think it would be funny to see Bahamut try to actually, like, fit in there, because he's about 10 or 15 times the size of Tiamat. Just like, hey, get in there. I can't get in the cave. Sorry. My father Marcus knew the great Ajax well, and I hope he will not hold it against me when I say that I believe Sordrell is the greatest gladiator to ever live. Indeed, I'm still in shock from the Tier 5A match. The sneeze of one of those monsters would knock out your average gladiator. And each monster requires an entire troop of arena guards to capture. We'll remember that battle for the rest of our days. Sordrell has completely depleted our stock of monsters. I'll have to call on Sid as soon as possible so that we can plan our next hunting mission. It's the never-ending flow of wealth. The gamblers come into my casino and lose their money, which flows directly into my pocket. Not even the global threat of war can stop the gamblers from giving me their money. I'll be the richest man in Tara soon, and then the real fun can begin. Mwahahaha. The Klingon metal of metal. There isn't a sweeter sound in all of Terra. Thor's hammer is far superior to my old hammer. Each piece of adamantium equipment will be a true masterpiece. I wish I could repay Sordrell in some way. I think I heard another customer coming. Things sure have picked up since I was given Thor's hammer and my work was shown to generals around the world. Broker, sir, I'm here to pick up a set of adamantium breastplates. Very good. One moment, sir. There they are. Thank you. Your payment has been left at the cave entrance. I'll take my leave. Damn, it feels good to work a hard sweat from pounding of metal and crafting of exquisite equipment. Ever since Sordrell entered the center of the hedge maze, the wards created by the ancient veneer have dropped. People have been flocking to explore the hedge maze. I didn't realize how lonely I was all those years. It's been wonderful to have so much company in the constant stream of tourists. More visitors! Would you like to be killed by a Marlborough? The submersible was truly a turning point in the inventing career. Although I didn't invent the device, creating the machine from the schematics has filled my mind with wonderful and exotic ideas. Sordrell found the submersible schematics as a needle in a haystack. I'll never be able to repay him for changing my life. I feel like a new man, and I can't believe in my new fortune. Even the King of Doria has seen my new inventions and commissioned the creation of faster-than-Moa landcraft. To think, only a year or two ago my inventions were good only for burning my eyebrows off, and now even the kings want them. What an amazing transformation. Ha! Listen to me talking to myself. I'd best get back to work on this new land-roving machine. What an exciting project. I wonder how explosive it's going to be. He's going to design a car that just randomly, spontaneously combusts. Another day of fishing peacefully on this lovely island. None of the terrible realities of the world can reach me here while I'm fishing. Does no one else care about perfect fishing technique anymore? The flexibility of the rod, the perfect ingredients for the bait, the finesse of the catch. I wish I had a son of my own for whom I could teach my trade. Alas, I'll simply have to wait for some wayward traveler to come along. Poor guy. It's like, I'm not going fishing, sorry. Who would have thought that it would eventually be a human to move the boulder that sealed our city from the outside world? Yes, that handsome Sordrell and his companions are truly our saviors. I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're getting a bit stir-crazy. Well, look who it is. Hello, ladies. Oh, you've come back. We're so happy to see you again. You two, go get our guests some refreshments. Yes, ma'am. The eccentric hermit. Ha! These humans amuse me. Long have I sat on my humble throne and watched these frantic movements. I, Tristan, am all that remain of the once great veneer race. I alone chose to stay because of my love of humans. They were an infant race when Aulus led me the exodus to the Terra Nova, an untainted and untouched land to build as our dreams desired. Long have I spied Gabriel from afar, as he was the only entity to know the truth of the Well of Souls. It seems that his knowledge has passed to humans, and they will enter a new era in their history. I believe it is time for me to join my native race on Terra Nova. I must have faith that the humans will not abuse or destroy themselves with this newfound knowledge and power. By the gods, sometimes I'm glad I locked you away on that island for so long. You can irritate me like no other person. Be careful, or I'll have Sortrell drop you back on that deserted rock. That's because I don't lick your boot heels. You can't stand to be told when you're actually wrong, because no one else will stand up to you, so you never hear it. You think you're infallible. Alright, let's drop it. The ceremony's about to begin. Very well, but don't think this conversation is over. Yeah, this treasonous conversation, I could have your head removed so fast. Introducing, and he would, too. That king is an asshat. Total douche. At your service, Majesty. Atticus, please stand forward. On behalf of the Kingdom of Doria, please accept this highest honor that I can bestow, the Golden Cross of Doria. Does everybody have a Golden Cross? The Kingdom of Doria will forever be in the debt of the Spartans. Don't hesitate to call on me if you're ever in trouble. I wish you and your companions well on your journey back to Riverdale. Those men genuinely deserve all the honors heaped upon them. I agree. You know, I never really believed that the ultimate crystal shards existed when I sent Sordrell on this quest around the world. I told you that I saw Helios scattering them in my vision. You still don't believe, do you? I'm coming around. So many of your predictions have come true, I suppose I'll have to accept that they're all true. I regret that Helios had to die for the catastrophe to reach its conclusion. He was a wise and generous elf, the last of his true bloodline. His death is so unnecessary, but I know that Sordrell was simply doing what he thought was right. If I could have counseled him and stopped him... I didn't do it. I'm innocent. Home sweet home. It's wonderful to be home. Ah, it's so quiet. I've longed for peace since the war started. It'll be great to rest and relax after everything I've seen. Sadly, my father's death still weighs on my mind. Will I ever find his murderer? Perhaps he's already dead. General Thanatos is dead by Sordrell's hand. Good riddance to that madman. I'll never understand how a nation such as Pandora could have fallen under his control. It appears that my old friend Dante was telling the truth all along. If only I could go back in time, which is apparently possible according to what Dante claims, I would have listened to his ravings. We could have avoided so much death. I will have to live with my choices. I did my best. Your Majesty, the coronation of the new Pandoran king has been scheduled for 1 week from now. We should be arraying the Armada to sail. Wonderful news. We must make haste. 1 week isn't much time to sail to Asgard and then make a trek north through the Pandoran Gap of the Naiad Mountains to Pandora. Prepare the fleet. Yes, Your Majesty. Was it truly necessary to go through the entire trip? This should be a particularly grand celebration. There hasn't been such a gathering of world leaders in a century. Indeed, I hope this coronation will lead to a new age of peace and alliance between the nations of Asgard and Pandora. Too long did General Thanatos sow the seeds of distrust between our two great nations. Your father was a great man. It grieved me greatly when I heard of his untimely passing. Thank you. Never a day goes by that I don't reflect on my father's death. I may never be able to find his killer. Perhaps he's already dead. Introducing the new king of Pandora! Dante? Oh yeah, because the last time having a spy master in charge of Pandora worked out so great. Thank you for coming. It's with a heavy heart that I accept the role of King of Pandora. Gabriel was not an evil man. He was twisted by an evil taint from so many passages through the Well of Souls portal. We must keep this information a secret so that an atrocity such as this never happens again. I will do my best to carry on the legacy of the great King Laomedon II, who was murdered by Gabriel, after allowing Gabriel to go completely crazy and butcher huge numbers of people, and, you know, really, the King's legacy wasn't super great. I hope that the people of Pandora can recover from the sweeping propaganda storm. We owe much to Sordrell. He was thrust into an unusual situation and was truly courageous in his quest to return to his home. I have a feeling that he has returned home. Let us all wish that he lives out the rest of his days in peace. Daddy, you're back already? Huh? You said you were going to collect firewood, but you've only been gone a few minutes. Where's the wood? A few minutes? That's strange. Boy, do I have a story to tell you two. Also, look how buff I am now. Whoa! Also, see this ring? Isn't it awesome? Right? Like, I got this by killing a god. How cool is that? Oh, speaking of that, so yeah, I met a god and it was awesome, but it was kind of pissed, so I had to kill it. Yeah, so it's kind of weird, but you know, that's the thing that happened. So anyway, that was last stream. That's the original game. I really enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun. I think that the challenges are really good in it. The super bosses I think are a really cool and interesting challenge, and I'm really happy that I managed to beat the game on Legendary at sub level 100, because I think that I don't think it's easy to beat the super bosses that low level. It was good. So, very happy to have completed the game, and I don't know, I'm looking forward to starting up the expansion. So, with the expansion, I have 3 playthroughs that I have planned in total, but I don't know how many of those are going to be live streamed. The first playthrough is probably... I think the first playthrough is going to be with a fresh party, because I honestly, even if I give up all of my, like, all of the games that the game, or sorry, all of the items that the game thinks are overpowered, the items that are really overpowered are things like the Enfeebling Dagger, the Reprisal Whip, the axe that I had on Oberon, and the Mutilating Sword. Those are actually the most important pieces of equipment that I have, and I would still have those. So I think that I'm going to start it up fresh. We're going to start with level 50. Then, depending on how that goes, depending on how much I like the next expansion, I might just go back in and play through it again. Start it with the same character party, same group as before, and just remove all of the overpowered items from my party, which would be the Kali Ring, Amaranthine Rings, I think the Rainbow equipment, possibly the Healing Helm. I don't actually know about that one for sure. But a lot of that stuff is just going to get removed from me, which would be, you know, fine. And then we'd be continuing that with it scaling up to level 98 as the baseline level of the whole thing. So, we might try that at some point, but we'll just have to see. So, anyway, I'm going to wait for the credits to roll. I don't really have a huge amount to say. I'm really happy that I was able to play through this again. I love the title name of the song for Kali's fight. The heaviest shit on Earth. It's like, what? So yeah, the first time I played through this, I was playing through with a white mage, and I was actually concerned here because of the fact that I didn't have bubble for this final boss. I was feeling like the boss would really be much easier with bubble, but then I realized that the mana transferal thing is actually a really big deal, and while I could get more mana on the other characters, over the course of that fight, they're using hundreds of mana, and I think that it's better to just have a setup where I can just permanently supply mana to everyone, and I can just keep going forever. The Kali fight in particular lasted like 150 turns or something stupid like that. So, like, that fight, if I had a finite pool of mana to work with, I'm inevitably going to run out. So, I think that the party actually did work out pretty much how I wanted it to. The Grey Mage did start to feel like they were not performing as much as I would like in the very end game, but they did have the mana switch, so that was the key advantage of the Grey Mage in those final battles versus like a White Mage. The other advantage, of course, is that they scale way better when it comes to defense, and I think they're about the same for magic defense. They might be even better than the White Mage on magic defense as well. But either way, we're just looking at all of the backers, apparently. And we'll get through it eventually. Ooh, the executive producers. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. So that is the end. So that's going to be it for right now. I guess I need to save my save file. We're not going to save it into that slot because that slot is... Let's just save it into the Abyss slot. There we go. So this is the, like, sort of New Game Plus data. I'm going to take a little break here. I have a couple things that I need to do, and then I will get into the next game. You know what? Fuck that. So I don't usually do this, because I like to have things be coherent, but we are actually going to start up the expansion right now. So give me just a second and we're just going to get right into it, because this is the time to do it. So we've got that saved. Now where on earth is this thing? So there we go. So we're opening this up. And we need to slap this onto my... Oh, shit. No! No. Okay. I'm restarting this because... there was something on the screen and it said something. So 4 warriors find themselves in a world unknown. Where darkness enshrouds peace. That is a cool looking lake. The great trees are dying. Come on, spoilers. Pestilence is spreading. Not sure if that's the best image for pestilence, because that kind of looks like a... Are they the only hope for this new world? Also, I love the font. I really like that font. Oh, that's so cool looking! And will they ever make their way home? That reminds me of, I think it's Lufaya? Okay, so what we're gonna do is... Oh, do we have anything that we need to do? So I guess we're just doing a new game. We don't need to worry about... Attention! This is a one-time option. Do you want to import your save files from last stream? Sure. Okay, so apparently I'm not going to do the import for this one. That's fine. I don't know if it, like, imports... I don't know what it imports. So we are going to choose, as our party, once more, our stoic hermit. He's gonna look pretty much the same. Oh, I can change his name! Yay! Sordrell! Sordrell. Let's see, find a secret item. I was hoping it would be like a secret person, because there was a guy named Namingway in all of the old Final Fantasy games who would allow you to rename people. Well, not all the old ones, but a lot of them. Okay, so we need to get our Grey Mage. Okay, Komanaten, how's it going? That's not how you spell Komanaten. I love how his name is so ludicrously long that I almost capped out the thing. He doesn't need to change his outfit, right? Yeah. Wait, what? No. I don't want either of these. No! I want the build that I want, damn it. I thought I could choose. I thought I could control their build completely. Doesn't it just give me all the points? So... I'm a little concerned. Let's see. The other thing we're gonna bring is... Shit, what was our third character? Oh, right, the Knight. Okay, so bringing our Knight Oberon. Oberon, oh Oberon. This is almost identical. I guess it just gives him white hair. I think I like the contrast on this one slightly better. Okay, so we've got Knight and now the Thief, because that worked so well for us last time. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Thief. He's gonna wear this one because it looks relatively normal. Let's go with Veron. And yes, I know that his coloration is different than before, but I don't give a crap. Veron. Alright, so we have Sordrel, Commonaton, Oberon, and Veron. Is that correct? That looks about correct. Game difficulty is going to be obviously legendary, encounter rate is going to be grind. Save ability is anywhere because, honestly, I don't like save restrictions. I don't think that they're pleasant in any way, shape, or form. Heh! Obviously, we need complete. Choose this option if you played last stream. Yeah, screw you. Alright, so view cutscenes, yes. Play tutorial, no. And let's watch the introductory cutscene to find out what's going on. Oh boy. So we're back on Earth. It's literally the same guy, too. That's great. Daddy, you're back already? Huh? Didn't we just go through this, guys? Few minutes? That's strange. Hey! Give me a hug. But you don't have any firewood. Please, just a hug. Daddy, you're acting strange. What? The hell? Sir? I need to be with you. Oh. I thought that was the strange voice saying that. Sir, wake up! Oh no! This was all a dream! To protect you against a world unknown. Sir, please wake up. Until I do, you'll never be safe. Sir, it's alright, you're safe. And so Sordrel's journey continues. Gabriel has finally perished, yet the mysterious portal led Sordrel not back to Earth, but to a world unknown. More strangely, Sordrel's companions, Commonaton, Oberon, and Veron, have been seized from their homeworld of Terra and arrived together with Sordrel. Their destinies are now inextricably linked. What they will discover on this new world? What force brought them here? Only courage may tell. Come now, we're all perfectly safe. We found you and your companions near the Tree of Life a few hours ago. My husband tried to wake you, but you were out cold. Where are you? Oh, forgive my manners. You must be very confused. This is the town of Rockwood. You've never heard of Rockwood? Oh, you must have hit your head. I almost forgot to tell you. When we found you, there were some bandits salvaging your gear. My husband managed to chase them off before they took any of your equipment. I dearly hope you didn't lose anything precious. When you're feeling better, why don't you come downstairs? Alright, no need to rush. I'll see you down there. Am I going to have to do something right? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. How can I do this? Fuck you and your spent points and MP. Fuck you with that shit. Let's see now. Let's get some bullshit. Why would I want all this accuracy? Oh, I guess I'm not gonna have the Uber gear equipped right at the beginning. I'm gonna go with 200 accuracy. My crit chance is already 100. We have a bunch of points spent in agility, which is a complete fucking waste. We have a bunch of points in preempt. Why would I need that? That's some horseshit. Okay, so we've got preempt points that we're getting rid of. Now, he's got 2,500 HP. I'm thinking that what we want to do for now is build him as the biggest fucking attacker I can make. I don't understand why I have so many points, actually. Oh, why am I level 100? What the hell? Oh, my starting level is determined by... Is my starting level determined by the difficulty setting? I guess that makes sense. This character is higher level than the character that I was just playing as. It's fine. Okay, so he's got 500 attack power. 200 base accuracy. That will give him a total of 5 attacks, which is fine. He'll be able to equip some ring or something to... Yeah, I think it's based off of the difficulty setting. I think it said something about that, but the way that it was stated was weird, so I didn't actually interpret it correctly. So we can go ahead and increase our HP, because he's got really low HP right now. Now, we should be able... That is so nice, though. I'm so happy that my characters are lower level than the starting level for this expansion, which, that just makes me so happy. You have no idea. Okay, so we're done with him. No. Ah, okay, there we go. So he doesn't need to spend any points in this either, because he's going to get it from other sources. Obviously, he doesn't need to spend a bunch of points into agility. He obviously doesn't need a bunch of crit. Accuracy, I'm actually willing to leave some points in accuracy, because he doesn't have his veneer gauntlets, so he might need that. I'm going to drop his max MP to about 700. I think that's sufficient. He does not need it. And he does need more HP than he has right now, but... I'm going to get all of these up to... There we go. So this costs 15 now. So let's try this as a build for now. But yeah, that's 400 points spent into pre. Like, look how crazy these stat allocations are. Okay, so I'm going to leave the accuracy, because again, he does need to be able to hit with his attacks. I'm going to drop his MP back down to baseline. Let's see, so we now have to figure out what we want to spend points in. I'm going to get his magic defense up to 500. No, I'm not. It's costing way too much now. So we're just going to start dumping points into defense. And I guess we should put his HP up to... He should have at least 3,000 HP. Oh, shit. He has all these points in attack. Lovely. So we can cull all these points that were wasted into attack and throw them into a stat that he'll actually have use for. Bear in mind that his attack stat, even with all these points invested, was so low that he would actually hit for less damage than Sordrell hits with one of his 5 attacks. It's crazy. So we should be able to get him up to about 4k HP. That works. And we'll just go ahead and get his defense up as much as we can. I figure that he's going to need a shit ton of defense. And now we need our ninja. So he does need some agility. I'll leave the agility. We don't need preempt because, again, he automatically goes first. You know what would be really funny is if my characters don't automatically go first anymore. So we'll leave his accuracy. Once again, I think the accuracy is valuable. We're going to go ahead and take these points out of attack. I did take... Oh, shit, I didn't take these points out of attack. Oh, you have so many points to spend, Komanatin. Oh, it's glorious. Maybe I should hold, what is that, shift? No. Menu. Okay, there we go. So... Okay, so we're leaving the agility, that's fine. And we're going to drop attack power because he does not need it. And we're going to start... Oh my god, magic defense is so hard for him to get. It's so expensive. I'm gonna actually give him some mana because, unlike Oberon, who doesn't really need very much, Varan needs to have enough mana to play with so that he can actually do his job. Because he's got a bunch of debuffs. I'm hoping that he gets, I'm hoping that he gets access to some no debuffs, and maybe Oberon will actually want to spend points later, but we'll find out. Okay, so what's next? Anything? Yes. Everything is so expensive for him. Honestly, I don't think that it's worth investing into physical defense for him anymore, because it just costs too much. So we're going to put points into magic defense and HB pretty much exclusively for now. Okay, so we should be able to survive. Oops. Yes, I have. Let's make sure that I didn't forget anything. He needs the attack power. That's good. His magic defense is so terrible. He's just gonna get blown apart by AoEs. Oh man, his HP is terrible too. I need to... I'm actually gonna drop his defense. I think his defense is... Okay, I think that pumping up his magic defense and his HP a little bit, because his magic defense is really, really low right now. Because he has so many points invested into attack power. Do I want to drop my attack power? No, fuck it. I don't even care. We're leaving him with a 500 attack power. I like it. Okay. We're gonna... This is gonna be like the glass canyon of doom. To be fair, he does go first automatically, and he can use Nirvana at the start of the fight. If he uses Nirvana at the start of a fight, his magic defense is actually about on par. His magic defense is actually better than Varan's. His physical defense isn't as good as anyone else's, but it's still perfectly serviceable. Alright, an initial pool of SP is available to learn skills, so we can go ahead and save this, and we can take a look. So, we want to learn skills, and we have a bunch of shit mastered. What? Oh, right, that's fine. So, in this expansion, and this is important to understand, in this expansion, any crit that you add on top of the base crit, so if you have a 100% crit chance, any additional crit increases the damage that crits do. Heals 0.05% of your max HP per step. So, in 10 steps, that's terrible. In 10 steps, you'd regen 0.5% of your HP. So you'd regenerate about 2.5% of your HP between fights. So attack, crit plus 40, and then 10%. That's good. I like Bloodlust. Raises the maximum number of hits for Fist of Fury to 10. So what does this require? Where's Knuckle Breaker? $1,500% normal attack that does. Ooh, meditation is really good. This is very good. Ooh! Immune to status effects and debuffs. That's actually a big deal. Wait, I thought I already had fast attack. Do I not have fast attack anymore? Oh no, screw you. They stole my fast attack. They took it from me. How dare they? This gives you plus 200 preempt, so this is actually probably fine. No. Okay, so this affects a lot, actually. So I do still have Strength of Spirit, right? Okay. Defense, magic, defense, and agility is not that great. So, Knuckle Breaker requires the accuracy thing. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be accumulating SP, so I think what my goal is going to be is to just get toward Fists of Frenzy. Bloodlust is pretty good. But Fists of Frenzy, I think, is probably the most important thing. I only need 5 more levels to get this, so I'm... Actually, Fast Attack probably is going to require... Is it? Never mind. Whatever. I'll take Dragon Fists. It gives plus 30 accuracy, which is the possibility of 1 extra attack. It's not a very high possibility, but it exists. So, now we get to figure out... Oh shit, he has a taunt now? Holy heal! Okay, so Mystical Concealment. So this is plus 1,000 agility and 200 accuracy for 1 ally. This is amazing, because this allows me to easily just cap out... And this lasts the entire battle. So I can just cast this on everybody. But particularly on the monk, it's going to be very, very potent. So, let's see. Rush Attack. Hellfire. Bonus 10% to equipped armor attributes. Does not include percentage-based bonuses. So, this gives just a bonus to my armor. So, int 35 and attack 35. Plan of attack is pretty good. Self-preservation. No, this is too good. Okay, so this is very similar to Nirvana. Oh my god, he's gonna be so much better. Max HP plus 50%. And it's healed. Plus 10% to all other stats for all allies except user in the bat. I like this. I like this. This guy is good. I like this setup. So I'm going to take Mystical Concealment first. So this is going to be something that's particularly useful to use on... Actually, it's good for the Thief, too. Now that I think about it. Because that'll make stealing much, much easier. Praetorian God! So he also gets Plan of Attack, which is good. Salvation. Complete cure, if possible, of one ally that acts first. So 1 HP taken from user for 3 HP healed. So this guy can convert his hit points into hit points for another target, which is good because it means if I stack enough HP on him... So if I stack basically HP and magic defense, for instance, then he's got a really good setup there. Reduces enemy defense. Don't have to worry about this. This only lasts for 3 turns, so I'm not super impressed with Invincible. Boost attack and lower defense for the user. That's not terribly useful. I'm gonna go ahead and take Defensive Study for him. Whirlwind Massacre is fine, but it's not really important for him. These attacks aren't really that important. He doesn't get... Honestly, I feel like the big winner here so far is the Sage. Like, Sordrell gets some cool stuff. The Aligning Chakras is pretty good. Meditation is pretty good. But some of what he's going to be getting over the course of this game is basically just reclaiming his original uberness. So does he not have the other thing either? He at least can't be crit still. So I think he also lost... Yeah. He's also lost his immunity to status effects. So Sordrell had immunity to status effects already. He doesn't get... I was wondering why this says immune to all status effects and negative debuffs. The status effects... Because the stat effects should be built into something he had previously. He doesn't have it anymore. So now I have to wait until level 115 to get that. On the plus side, I'm starting at level 100, so I'm going to be getting access to this stuff very rapidly. Which is interesting because that kind of stuff might have an impact on the... a meaningful impact on the difficulty of the game. But that's fine. So he's done. Let's take a look at Varan. Let's see how our ninja is going. So he can increase his own agility by 1,500. %, normal attack and steal. Wait, this is passive? That's interesting. So basically the thief is just going to passively reduce all stats, all the relevant stats of the enemy by 10%, assuming that he has the correct stats for it. So that's very interesting. I want to know how the enemy defends against this. I don't know how much agility and preempt I need to have. But honestly, the fact of the matter is that I have so many... between Invisibility Cloak and the thing that Komanatin's going to be casting, he's going to have 2,500 agility. Speaking of which... I mean, obviously, he should have Invisibility Cloak. This is too good. Oh, I actually was not intending to give him anything, now that I think about it. I was intending to give him Master Locksmith as soon as humanly possible. But that's fine. So let's keep looking at his stuff. His trap is pretty good. Fast attack is something that he should have already, but he doesn't. So 5 times greater chance of a preemptive strike. That's not likely to happen. Life Snatcher is okay. No, it isn't. It's terrible. It costs way too much for what it does. So, definitely the big winner here is going to be Komanatin. My ninja still doesn't have an answer to magic damage, really, which is unfortunate. Though he is going to be able to steal a hell of a lot easier if he's got plus, what is it, like 3,000 agility or something stupidly high like that. So, there is that. So, moving right along. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I'm glad you're feeling well enough to explore our house a bit. You'll find my husband in the kitchen. Hey, robot! Bow, wow, bow, 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 wow. Looks like this does indeed require picking a lock. It's all good, let's continue on. My distant relative settled here ages ago. My family's continued presence is testament to the stability Rockwood has enjoyed. You seem like a good person who can help preserve Rockwood's stability. Indeed, may your own family experience 26 generations of rich history. Apologies for my rambling on. You must be confused. Do you remember anything before we found you? No? That's disappointing. You have the look of a strong warrior. Perhaps it's presumptuous to say this, but the Mercenaries Guild could use someone like you. Ignatius, the leader of the Mercenaries Guild, is a wise man who may be able to help you to learn the truth of your past. Ignatius can be found in the Mercenaries Guild, located deep underneath Rockwood. You'll find the entrance behind the inn. But yeah, those Komanatin skills. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to those. I'm also very, very happy with... What level do I need to be to get that skill? Oh, I already got it, didn't I? Did I? No. Where's it? It's a trap. It's a trap. Here we go. Level 105. This is going to be so good. Okay, trade has come to a standstill after the earthquake destroyed the underground bridge to the west. It's the only safe transit to court, except by ship. This is the third stop in my tour of the Tree of Life around Firma. I stand in Westonia, then visited Theopolis, and now I found my way here. I just can't get over the amazing properties of the trees. I always feel better when in their presence. I'm surprised that more people don't feel the same way. I've even heard stories of trees bringing back people from the brink of death. Miraculous, don't you think? If you haven't, just place your hand on the tree and you'll feel an enormous presence. The Tree of Life is just north of here. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me for blathering on. I'm sure you already knew that. And didn't need a exposition dump at all. I would happily open my home to anyone from court, human or goblin, who needs refuge against Necht's wrath. The people of Necht say they would strike back at the opposing goblins if they could find them. Attacking goblins. Instead, they've directed their vengeance on court, a place where humans and goblins peacefully coexist. Interesting. Hey, goblin. You kind. Want trinket fight? Sure? Thanks. You kind, not like other human who try to hurt goblin. I find you more trinket. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. The goblins would never attack Necht. They're far from the sharpest swords in the armory, but even they know better than to kick an armed and angry hornet's nest. Goblins aren't even sufficiently organized to execute such an assault. Regardless, the people of Necht have branded goblins an existential threat, and unlike the poor goblins, the Necht citizens are capable of strategic warfare. The thing is, some Necht citizens are... I know some, and they're reasonable people. Are they now? Looks like a house on a tree. The people of Necht are overreacting to a few missing baubles. ignorant that goblins appear as nothing more than reeking petty thieves. If the Necht residents could only accept that goblins simply do not recognize personal property, then their animosity would melt into cultural appreciation. Unfortunately, soldiers from Necht are threatening to slaughter every goblin on the continent, hence sudden enlightenment seems unlikely. Okay, look. A culture that has no concept of personal property, when exposed to civilization, is going to learn a concept of personal property very quickly, because I have no concept of personal property does not prevent you from being thrown in jail for stealing shit. That's not an excuse you're going to be able to pull off in court. I'm sorry, sir, but the idea of personal property is against my religion. No. Anyway, I say our friends in Necht are too forgiving after what they've endured. Rockwood citizens seem to think the people of Necht are merely prejudiced. Not so. Goblins have repeatedly attacked Necht, almost as if they were mad. What recourse did the citizens of Necht have to do other than resorting to force? I don't know. What choice do they have? Don't underestimate the Necht soldiers. They have a threat. They take the threat of goblin attacks very seriously and have been training for combat for some time now. Have you visited the harbor yet? Ships are constantly sailing to and from the North Bay. You might say the shipping routes to Rockwood's lifeline to Orphos. Ships from the North Bay rarely visit Necht. Most ship traffic... English. The Mercenaries Guild is a true source of Rockwood's stability. No matter what kind of trouble brews up, they're always able to keep the pot from boiling over. Mark my words, friends, there's nothing they can't handle with a good blade and a strong back or 3. Or 8. Or 12. Should I be equipping people with stuff? Oh, they already have full stuff. So this is plus 50 attack. It's good to know. He has an... Oh, wow. These people all have augury rings? Oh, so that's why their magic defense is so much higher than his. It's because they're wearing augury rings. That's fine. Okay. If goblins attacked my home, I'd probably take up arms like the citizens of Necht. Because I can't blame them for wanting to get revenge. Bum, 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 bum. So apparently everybody here is talking about other places and not what's going on in their own town, because they just don't have any interest in what's happening in their own town. Everybody's talking about the goblins in some other place. Bum, bum. I guess maybe it's implied that I'm asking about this. Bum, 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 bum. Just going to steal everything. I heavily invested in Quartz Grove. Thus, it has been to my dismay that I have witnessed my business diminish after the earthquake destroyed the Western Trade Route's underground bridge. Unless you have a heavily equipped protection detail, there's no way to transport goods to court. Only members of the Mercenaries Guild dare venture through the northern frozen tower or southern abandoned tunnel. You can go north or south to get to this other place? Huh. Are you the Adventurers Guild? Mercenaries Guild lies below. When Rockwood was founded 500 years ago, the few rebels who survived the Great War created the Mercenaries Guild. Many great warriors have passed through the walls beneath your feet. It's guarded, etc., etc. Welcome to the Mercenaries Guild. You'll find the barracks to your left, the pub to your right, and the Guildmaster's quarters and training grotto to the south. Sorry, we're completely out of emerald equipment. After our brethren return from court, I'll prepare emerald wares for your appraisal. Emerald, huh? Is emerald better than adamantite? Apparently. Welcome, stranger. You look like a hardened traveler and adventurer. If you'll allow me to ramble a bit, I'd love to tell you about the mission of the Mercenaries Guild. Sure. Haha, thank you for allowing an old man to expound upon his love of history. The Mercenaries Guild has existed for over 500 years. After the Great War, the devastating worldwide conflict that pitted each of the 4 races against the other, many homeless soldiers found themselves without a nation to fight for. Those warriors were no longer claimed by any nationality gathered here in Rockwood. Determined not to repeat history, furthermore, the Guild issued forth to soldiers from all races. Humans, elves, goblins, and dwarves gathered under the leadership of the first Guildmaster, Ahmad Khan. Together they vowed never to allow the races to fight amongst themselves again. It is actually under their initial leadership that Westonia was established as a world capital. Westonia predated the Great War, however it has been inhabited solely by elves up to that point. Together with the leadership of the Mercenaries Guild, the Elven King opened Westonia to all the races of the war in an effort to heal the wounds opened during the Great War. By the way, together with the leadership of the Mercenaries Guild, the Elven King opened blah blah blah. The Mercenaries Guild is like all of the soldiers of all of the kingdoms after all of the kingdoms have been thrashed by a global war. What this is all the soldiers basically occupied the elven capital of Westonia and issued forth demands. And these are their demands, right? Anyway. Oh, excuse me. Listen to this old man ramble on. But still, I do have a point. Would you like to join the Mercenaries Guild? Oh, of course. You should see the guild treasurer to pay your guild... God, of course there's a membership fee. Please return to me when you've officially joined the guild so that we may discuss the conflict. I believe the treasurer is currently at the guild pub. So. Train in the ancient grotto. 1 minute. Ooh, ooh, that sounds like an arena! I should consider this, yes. I'm not going to read everything that everyone says. I'm going to try to read the more important stuff, and I'm going to read when I feel like it. But most of the time, I'm going to be sort of glancing over what they're saying and stuff like that, because I could sit here reading for days, but I don't think that's necessarily the best use of everyone's time. Let's see. Oh my god, there's so many people. Quick, let me steal your shit. Ooh, ruse powder. I came here from Theopolis, the capital of the human continent of Orphos. Since I was a child, my one wish was to one day join the Mercenaries Guild. I've never regretted my choice to join the guild. Not one day. Never. Certainly not today. No, I don't want to leave. I feel right at home in these cavern-like chambers. Many think it odd to find a dwarf among the guild members, but how else would I get a chance to swing my axe nearly as often? Why would that be odd? I thought this place was a multi-racial enclave. Apparently it's not quite as multiracial as that guy would have us believe. We're stretched extremely thin, and so many of our members on their way to court. Although I'm exhausted by covering multiple duties in Rockwood, I don't envy their long trek to the northern tundra. They chose the northern road over the abandoned dwarven stronghold. Who knows what evils lie in that tomb? The Frozen Tower is truly the lesser of the two evils. So. Ooh, members can rest here for free. Are you the pub? You look like a pub. Don't be confused by the name Mercenaries Guild. We use the name mercenary to mean that we're beholden to no nation. Many hear the name mercenary and connect negative connotations to it. We're not simply soldiers for hire. We only accept missions within the ethical guidelines, and we often work for free. I don't know, that kind of sounds like a mercenary group to me. Woo! Oh yeah, fast forward is active already. Woo! Okay, so Lonely Fate being the lone elven member of the Mercenaries Guild, but that's the choice I've made. There's one elf and one dwarf, and this guy's talking about, oh, we've got so much racial diversity. The token elf and the token dwarf. Someone must take action against the prejudice and cruelty of Firma. Ignatius has recruited you to join the guild. Excellent, it's always good to see a rugged warrior such as yourself join the guild. There's only the issue of the membership fee to be resolved. There are many missions that the guild undertakes which offer no payment in return. For that reason, we ask that every guild member show their loyalty to our cause through a one-time entry donation. It's 5,000. Oh, that's actually really cheap. Excellent. Thank you for your contribution. Has Ignatius discussed our work in court yet? He'll likely want to help protect the human-goblin cohabitation against the residents of Necht. Oop. I can't believe Ignatius didn't send me to court. He said my emotions would cloud my judgment. Ridiculous. Those prejudiced Nechtians need to be taught a lesson. I'll concede that my judgment was clouded when I pushed for the abandoned tunnel over the frozen tower. The old dwarven stronghold is a massive labyrinth that has been the death of many foolish adventurers. The identities of my parents were lost in the conflicts of the past. The guild raised me and gave me purpose, to defend the fair-minded citizenry of Firma, who cannot defend themselves. On this account, I've killed many and some fear me, yet you understand the merits of violence in the name of good, don't you? Just randomly give me the story of your life. Sure, that works. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and save this, because we're part of this guild now, so let's go to the arena. We're not even gonna talk to the guy over there, we're gonna talk to the... Oh, whoops. I accidentally skipped one of the things. You'll find the inner grotto entrance blocked by a spike strip. The combination is Only to allow senior, but you can attempt to solve it on your own. Finally, take this lure ring to make the most of your goddamn training. Hells to the yes, to the etc. I'm not going to equip it yet, because I want to see if there's any treasure in here. What are you? Oh, it actually has a mana bar that I can see. That's cool. Okay, we're going to need to change up his stuff. We're going to see how hard we get hit. So red mist is coming out. And... alright. It's not too bad. I don't know if that was considered physical or magic damage. And there is, in fact, treasure here, so I'm glad that I didn't put on the lure ring. So we've got 4,000 EXP. Oh, I forgot to... So that's a crit for 900. Two, one. Gonna go ahead and cast the fast cure on him. Oh, Dark Ward has a different animation now. Oh. His damage output is trash, or not, his healing throughput is trash right now. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and purify him. And let's see here. I like the new accuracy thing. Okay, we are going to need to pull out of here at some point. I think we're going to do it now. So, on the plus side, we are stronger right now relative to the enemies than we started the game in the first game. The first games we started out weaker than we're starting out here. So that's good at least. And let's see, I'm going to continue... I'm going to continue exploring the map outside first before I finish that, because there might be some equipment that I can put on that'll make my life a little bit easier. But in terms of damage, we're okay for our monk. He could obviously be doing... I already explored this house, I don't know what I'm doing here. So we could be doing a bit... Oh my god, there's so many houses! So, nothing you can't handle with a strong blade, with a strong backer 3 or something. Don't underestimate the next soldiers. They take the threat of the training for combat for some time now. Okay, so... Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yikes. Oh, right, this is... I'm pretty sure I was already in there. My dreary mother has forbidden me from visiting my goblin friends in court because of next threats. Ha ha! Goblins would make up funny games that we would play for hours. I don't wish to keep my son away from his little friends in court, but something odd is going on with the goblins here in the North and South Aldrin continents. I doubt the people of Necht would just make up their claims about the goblin attacks. Perhaps goblins are smarter than humans tend to think and endeavor to make North and South Aldrin a goblin enclave. Perhaps it's time to move the human nation of Orphos. Move it? Move to. Okay, I'm like, you're gonna move the entire country? I'm not sure that's a thing. And by not sure, I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. Alright, so we're... looting up the joint. Oh, there's a person here. I guess I could talk to him. I'm no fool. I have no time to bleeding hearts that insist these little lizard larcenists are just misunderstood. Bah, if my fellow humans in Necht feel forced to defend themselves against goblins, who are we to question their judgment? Also, shouldn't he stop his kid from visiting these people if he has this kind of, like... I'm surprised that the kid is just like, yeah, I have all these friends that are goblins. And the father is like... Anyway. Residents of Rockwood have generous heart and care for the plight of the oft-maligned goblins. Sure, goblins smell atrocious and can appear hideous in form, yet can you blame a creature for its natural state? They have no choice. If the people of Necht could overcome their initial revulsion, they'd see that goblins are actually synonymous with peace. Well, I think that they're just people, but sure. I don't think that they're necessarily synonymous with peace. I think that peace is synonymous with peace. Youth is wasted on the young. You use your advantages now that you will not appreciate until old age robs you of your capabilities. Make your mark on Firmin history by confronting Necht. Their threats of violence are not idle. They abhor the intermixing of goblins and humans, and I believe they will march on court. No. I've stolen your money. Autobiographical memoir. Okay. My father spent 40 years as a member of the Mercenaries Guild before he retired. In his later years, he wrote to me that he stumbled upon an isolated outpost in the northern tundra of North Aldrin. Why would anyone live in such a location? Do you think he was banished from some far-off land? Is he a mighty warrior hunting monsters? Northern tundra. Trade has come to a standstill after the earthquake destroyed the underground bridge to the west. Its only safe transport is by ship. Oh. I know you. Okay, so, are we almost done with this town? No, we have like 1,000 freaking things to go into. Okay, refreshing elixir. So let's see what kind of gear they have. I'm honestly disappointed. I would much prefer for adamantium to not exist here, because I think that the idea of adamantium just being a material that doesn't exist here and everything here is just super strong in terms of materials would be really cool. The idea of like adamantium being copper is also kind of a hilarious idea, but I don't know, I like the idea of the only adamantium equipment being in this world being the equipment that you bring with you. I think that's a cool idea. Oh, let's see. I think it's a wasted opportunity, personally. My father, Mr. Rockwood the 26th, wants to get an education from the enigmatic historian. At first I doubted the worth of historians' lectures, but I've learned some marvelous true stories during my studies. For example, the frozen tower to the north has a bizarre origin. While humans only inhabited their home continent of Orphos, elves were exploring and mapping the wilderness of Therma. The great Kunlun Mountains blocked the elves' exploration of the western portion of North Aldrin in typical elven fashion. They built a magnificent tower to bridge the eastern and western portions of the continent, because towers are bridges. The elves grew wary of battling the foul unnatural creatures that plagued the northernmost tundra of Aldrin, and their momentous frozen tower was eventually overrun. Sadly, there are veteran elves alive today who are tormented by the memory of their lost comrades who roamed the tower as monsters, not men. History is filled with such grand ambitions brought low by disease and the endless toil required to battle back wild forces in favor of civilized spaces. With the frozen tower infested by foul creatures, humans laid a mine under the Kunlun Mountains and established the western trade route. Well, that's a lot of history. Hey, I got a koi! You look familiar. I love it. Oh, and you can put in your own N. I like that. So instead of sell all above 15, you can sell all above some other arbitrary number that you want. Okay, so here's the question. For everybody else, do I just want them to guard? Oops, this is macro 2. I kind of feel like attack is pointless for characters that can't deal damage. Ooh, I can see the synth shop. I don't have any things, but I don't have any recipes. I do not. Okay, so... Good talk. Hail, traveler! Isn't history fascinating? Do you want to know the story of the abandoned ruins in the mountains to the southwest? Sure, buddy. Ah, fellow history aficionado! Oh, do you know the story? Sorry, I thought he was asking if I wanted to know it. So, no. Oh, well, I absolutely must tell you then. Long ago, it was a dwarven stronghold. Wealth flowed in vast quantities when the dwarves still occupied the stronghold's walls. Alas, the stronghold was overrun by a massive horde of monsters approximately 500 years ago. Never before or after have monsters shown such intelligence and coordination. Strange, isn't it? Is that true? Or did they show similar levels of coordination when they took out the Elven place as well. Passenger transport to Vir has dramatically increased lately with the upcoming Decadal World Council in Westonia. Although the council itself is a very serious affair, there's party atmosphere throughout Westonia. Imagine that. Always use an excuse for a party. Move this, go fast. The captain never gives me any rest. Well, only 500% markup. Mercenaries Guild attempted to hire passage to court on the western coast. However, none of the ship captains will pass up the opportunity to make a killing for the extreme fares people are willing to pay for passage to Westonia in order to attend the Decadal World Council. So, trade between Rockwood and Necht has been ground to a halt with the hostilities between Necht and court. Hopefully everything can be resolved peacefully and goods can flow again. Yep. It's going to take a while to get through all these characters. A lot of people to talk to. So, most captains think of nothing but money, but what about exploring the wild and savage seas? As recently as 15 years ago, new islands were discovered in the uncharted areas of the ocean. For example, I found this amazing recipe on my last boat. Oh, yeah! Followed by his inflict jinx. A jinxing knife? Okay, what does a jinx do? Sup, friend? Me find treasure map, but be no read. You trade me 1,000? Sure. Great, fair trade. What we do with so much gold? I don't know. Buy something? Use it for room and board for a few weeks? I don't know. Something cool? Hey, Captain, my Captain. Get to work, you mangy dogs! These goods aren't going to unload themselves. Look at these good-for-nothing deckhands. In my day, men worked twice as hard and made half the wages. Everyone thinks that back when they were working, they worked much harder than these assholes today, because it's much easier to work when you're not actually having to work. It's much easier to remember yourself working hard than it is to actually work hard. Oh, right. This guy wanted to talk to me about this tree. Where's the tree? I don't see the tree. So, the Tree of Life was up here. Hello. Pretty tree, you think, too? Have you come to bask in the glorious aura of the Tree of Life? You're familiar with these wonderful trees, right? Nope. Really? Well, you're lucky and I happened to run into you. Let me tell you the basics of the Tree of Life. No one, not even the elves, knows exactly how or why the Trees of Life grant magical properties that they do. Nearly every town in Firma is built near a Tree of Life due to their healing properties. Trees of Life can heal lethal wounds and bring people back from the brink of death. Whenever you find yourself or your comrades fatally hurt, you should visit the Tree of Life. So I can save at these. And I can revive people, but I can save anywhere because I have save anywhere on. Boop, boop, boop. I saved the game. And what am I going to do? We are going to... Oh, we haven't gotten to the inn/pub yet. Your people are good workers, that's for sure, human. Build Rockwood up proper. This area is an old, solid feel to it, like a venerable oak. People say you're settling to explore Firma, eh? Come back after you earn a few tails of your own to tell me about your adventures over a pint for you and picture blah blah blah. Bloodshed, the fate of all who work the tired mortal coil. Will nothing quell their zealous thirst for destruction as they march even upon this hallowed ground. History marches on, and I am here to bear witness to the next bloody chapter that the young races insist on writing for themselves. Don't go into the forest around Rockwood. They're infested with terrible spiders called one-eyed arachnids. I've written several letters to Ignatius asking him to eradicate them, but no luck yet. Although Court is to the west, you'll be hard-pressed to travel there directly. Necht is equally out of reach unless you have a boat and sail directly south. The Goblin Enclave Ronkar resides precariously near Necht on an adjacent island. Keep sailing south from Ronkar and you'll find yourself north of there. I've studied the latitudes of Firma all my life, and yet the actual shape of our world eludes me. It's actually banana-shaped. What is lost in the discussion of goblin culture is a clear-eyed recognition of accountability. Just because goblins don't recognize personal property doesn't render them blameless when they steal from someone who does. Huh, imagine that. So clearly I need to go downstairs. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? The food orders never cease. Don't worry. Nice purified robe. I like it. Bum, bum, bum. Resurrection elixir. So let's see what's back here. Whoop. Hee hee hee. You didn't catch me. What are you doing back here? Get out of here. I don't know what you're talking about. I was never here. Ooh, shiny. What are you, my shiny mega wall? Boop. Boop. Mining bombs. So, here, take this and leave me alone. He gave me a drink for free. That's not... Look, okay, people, don't go into the employees-only area and expect for the employees to give you free shit. That's not typically how that goes down, okay? That's not an appropriate thing to do. Don't do it. Have a drink with me, because, you know, we all have to get along. Everybody, all the races. Hey, I have a certain bit of information I'm not supposed to tell. Maybe if you buy me another beer. 500 for one beer? Damn, this is expensive. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Since we're friends now, I'll tell you. These rich elves from Estonia sent us a heavy, heavy purse for the Mercenaries Guild. They're worried about some kind of grave trouble brewing here. Guess they don't want to cause alarm, but I don't see no trouble. Is it a problem with a grave? Is it undead? I hope these next court hostilities don't escalate before the Decadel World Council races in Westonia. The intermixing of humans and goblins in court must succeed if we are to live together as a sustainable society. The alternative is to die separately as warring territorial barbarians. Yeah. Court was formed the peaceful wake of the Great War and maintains an optimistic ethos that contrasts Rockwood and Necht's thick walls. Unfortunately, fear of Necht has dampened such goodwill, and Court may soon conform to a more guarded stance. I don't share my fellow citizens' appetite for messing with the Nechtian affairs. Neutrality is a virtue when your interests are equally served by either result. Oh, snap. My grandfather recently passed away. He bequeathed this treasure map to me in his will, yet I have no interest in venturing into the wild to find the treasure. In his prime, he was a fearless adventurer, and I believe that my father and I fell short in his eyes. Should I feel guilty for not keeping this treasure map? No. I will treasure the memory of the man, not the items he left me. Please take it. Oh, okay, thanks. Bum, ba, da, 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 da. Shiny treasure, shiny treasure, it's treasure, shiny. Adventuring is tough business. It's wonderful fun while it lasts, but if you keep it up too long, you'll end up like me, an aged and withered has-been. If you insist on venturing out in the wilderness of the North Aldrin continent, please take this with you. Better to be proactive and protective against the nasty side effects that the monsters in the wilderness can inflict. That's what I've always believed, and it served me well. Bum, bum, bum. My husband left several days ago to hike in the mountains in the west near where the river originates. He should have been back by now. I'm really starting to worry. What have happened? Okay. Now, so we finished in here. And is that... Let's see. We want to go to the synth shop again. So, Jinxing Knife causes Jinx, presumably. So we need Phantom Wings and Dracomancer saves. So we need Gecko Tails and Haunted Essence and Emerald Armor. So this grants Poison, Jinx, and Zombification immunity, which is pretty good. And we need Killing Horns. So this is 65 and 55. So that's... Oh, he doesn't need to wear... Okay, I'm a dope. I had him looking at the wrong thing. So he should be able to equip something that's better if we give him something better. We're going to save this. We are going to pop back to the Mercenary Guild. Because I think we're just about ready. Boom, boom. I'll get straight to the point. We need you to travel to court to join our other mercenaries in an effort to something about court. We've already sent as many men as we dare to court. Despite all our wishes, we must retain a skeleton crew at all times here at the guild. Wealthy benefactors who wish to remain nameless are paying to protect the inhabitants of court. Yep. Wonderful. Make sure to stock up before you make the long trek to court. Unfortunately, the main trade route between Rockwood and Court is impassable after a major earthquake. Your possible routes to the north are to the north and southwest. To the north, you can travel through the northern tip of North Aldrin and loop south through the Kunlun Mountains. Alternatively, you can brave the abandoned dwarven stronghold to the southwest. Although it survived the Great War, it was overrun soon after by monsters. Although the distances are longer, we deemed the Frozen Tower the safer route. The abandoned tunnel was once the western home of the dwarves is simply too dangerous. If you travel through the Frozen Towers, please take these rings. They'll protect you from the vile beasts that have overrun the town. Oh! And take these holy water flasks. It'll allow you to cleanse yourself of the vials application. Also, I strongly recommend the Frozen Tower route. I'll give you this key to the abandoned tunnel. Oh, good. On your journey, please be advised the Guild Scouts have returned. Ferocious monsters have been appearing at an alarming rate, something is not seen since the Great War. Challenging these monstrous beasts is best left to senior guild members. However, if you believe yourself capable of vanquishing these terrible foes, you'll be well rewarded. Yes! Guild Treasurer for your reward if you defeat any of these targets. If you'd like more information, you can ask Virgil. Yes, yes, hells to the yes. I already have access to hunts. Great. Do I want... Yes, I'm going to take a nap before we continue exploring in there. So. Hey, there's a cutscene. Your vision slowly dims as you drift off to sleep by the Starton cloth bunk. Suddenly, your senses are seized by an enthralling vision of Firma from centuries in the past. Bring it. Chet. Excuse me. As the millennia grind onwards, evolution of the family Firma... Hey man, hunts are great. They're all boss fights. Boss fights make me happy. That's what I live for, is the boss fights. So the more boss fights I get, the better. Pithlurians. My lord Asmodeus, we've returned from our scouting mission of the overworld. Speak.
Tell us what you found.
Oh yes, my lord. The overworlders are frail. They're small in number, they have metal-crafted weapons. If you choose to strike against them, we could crush them easily. You have been heard. Dismissed. Generals, speak your mind. Asmodeus. Our numbers have swelled. If we do not expand beyond the Blessed Mountain, we will not have the resources to feed but 2 mouths of 3. The lava doesn't help. It pains me to agree with Zayanak, but for the sake of our clan, I must beseech you, do not artificially confine us. Our destiny is to rule this entire world, not just a single mountain. Baxar, well, sir, what do you say, you? I second Trellock's statements. Our people have overcome great hardships living on this mountain, while the overworlders enjoy easy lives amidst lush landscapes. Most significantly, is Astaroth's will that only those born from the blessed fire of this mountain volcano may rule Firma. Those outsiders are mere pretenders to your true glory. Do not allow lesser beings to dictate the natural ascension of our superior species. Astaroth's will? You still cling to myths of the old dark god? The people are restless, my lord. The close confines breed frustrations against our kind. Let their frustration loose upon the overworlders. Those that do not die by our blades must surrender to our will and serve as slaves. You have been heard. Leave me, I have much to consider. The decision is unanimous. It will be war. It appears the long-haired overworlders will be our greatest challenge. The green-skinned mongrels could be enslaved by our newborn babes. It is our destiny to rule our world. Okay, cool. So we've already started getting cutscenes. Asmodeus is probably the bad guy. Like, he might be the BBEG, big bad evil guy. But we'll find out. I would honestly venture the guess that he's not. But it's possible. We'll find out. Okay, so we've got a one-eyed arachnid. Okay, Mercenaries Guild Grotto. Discovered stronger beasts are kept in the inner grotto to the south. Ooh! Are they now? Let us find what is here, my friends. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I'm surprised. That's not good. So we're gonna have everyone... Oh shit, that's Snarl. Oh no. Okay, whew. He increased his crit chance and then hit the only person who's completely immune to crits. So that's good. So we can go ahead and use a couple of Cure 4s. Other... Hey, it's a puzzle. Enter the switch combination. No unauthorized entry into the inner grotto. Oh my god, it's just like a 5-button combo? So this one moves this down. This one moves this up. So I'm a little confused about the way that this whole system works. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So this goes down. Is it down by 2? Like, how many does it go down by? It goes down by 2. So this puts it up by 1, 2, 1. Okay, so up by 1. That one goes down by 1. That goes down by 2. So well, that worked. It's so easy. Whoopsies. Beasts are tightly packed in the inner grotto, but where they will attack in large numbers. Oh, lovely. Large numbers is exactly what my party's good at handling. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. I need to move him. He's in a very bad position right now. I guess I should be using Warcry, huh? Oh my god. Of course I should be. Kamanatin could be using Warcry every single turn. That's the problem. Alright. That's game over because I still have the paralysis effect on him. So he's gonna die, unfortunately. So I fucked that up. I should have been using Warcry that whole time. I'm just an idiot, and I haven't been using Warcry because it's like I'm now so used to having Genji gear that it's like, oh, what? How is it that I play this game again? I don't actually remember. I'm supposed to just have the monk attack and have everyone else defend. That's the way that the strategy works, right? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use... Why don't you have... He doesn't have Warcry on his bar. Okay, well, I need to obviously... Ugh, this is all so hideous. Why is Healing Steel all the way down here? Okay, well, let's do Healing Steel. Oh my god, so much damage. Okay, so... And of course they hit the one person who has access to a stun. Not really a lot I can do here. Okay, I think that both of them had their effect removed. Yes, they did. So he can... Now, slots. We're clearing his slots. Okay, so first thing that he needs to have is not this, though it's pretty badass. We're going to put... Warcry first, because that's super cheap and super effective. Very good spell. Next thing. He needs to have Dark Ward on his bar somewhere. That's as good a place as any. We need Citadel on our bar. We need Juggernaut. And we're going to put Sentinel here. And we're going to start putting the Cures over here. So Cure goes here, and Fast Cure goes here. Now... I'm going to go ahead and put Mana Surge on his bar. We need Mystical Concealment. We need Healing Trance. I'm actually going to put Healing Trance over here. I'm going to put Mana Sacrifice all the way over here. It's not useful right now because he doesn't have the half mana cost thing. I think we're set for him. He has everything on his bar already. So let's see. I'll worry about the specifics of the locations for those later. So we get Emerald gloves and boots. We don't need the gloves on him. We're going to go ahead and equip this on him, though, because he's pretty squishy right now. Is that the end of this place? Okay, so I think we're at the end. I'm gonna use a double war cry because there's a lot of enemies here. I'm gonna use a healing steel as well. Unfortunately, everybody's super, super slow. And everybody's going after Kamanaten, so that is the end of that. Unfortunately, I was not quite anticipating just how bad my gear was going to be. I was thinking I'm not going to have any specialized gear, really, but this is particularly offensive. Everybody has magic defense gear for some bizarre reason. So... what? Wasn't it gone? Or did I not? Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't save after I grabbed this shit for some reason. Okay. I'm gonna load. Not load. Slap these on here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and slap these on him because his accuracy is completely irrelevant right now. His int is not. So, let's see. Unfortunately, we've used a lot of mana, but on the plus side, we are almost... Excuse me, we're almost done here. Ow. So we've got a double stun, and that's it. So we have two enemies to kill that are not stunned. I'm gonna go after the Arachnid first. And we're just gonna go ahead and attack. Why are these people attacking? They don't have any damage. So with them guarding, I'll be taking half damage. I also haven't fixed my rose up yet. That's something that I need to do. Shit. Okay. 10,000 experience? Holy shit. Okay, that's cool. And he needs to cast a Cure 2 on him. That did nothing. So the question is, can I... cleave my way through here? I also did not change things up the way that I needed to. Wait. Oh god, he's not immune to status effects still. This is a problem. Okay, well, it had to happen eventually. Some more shit. Okay, so this monk is so much weaker than a level 50 monk. Like, holy shit. This is... I didn't save after this fight, apparently. Okay, we're going to use a war cry. We use double war cry. Again, we're about to leave, so... Got a war cry off on one, and all three. Good. So we need to kill this horned behemoth, definitely, because that thing is dangerous. Okay. So, 50% increase to defense. Yeah. No chance, my friend. Okay, so we fully explored the grotto, I believe. And we didn't get a huge amount from it, but we got a little bit. We got some new gloves for Kamanaton, as well as some other stuff. So, I guess we can head out now. Oh, there's a person here. So, welcome, good sir. Venturing out of town, are you not? Oh, on your way to court for the Mercenaries Guild? Make sure to travel by the Frozen Tower. Only a fool would try the abandoned tunnel. Only the hardy warriors of the Mercenaries Guild venture outside Rockwood alone. The primary reason are the nasty and debilitating effects the creatures in the wilderness can inflict upon an unsuspecting traveler. Trust me, friend, if you're planning on any extended time outside Rockwood, you'll want to buy a few rings to protect yourself. Would you like to buy some rings? I would love to, my friend, except it appears that I cannot. Okay, and he sells a bunch of random stuff, including... he sells protect rings. That's cool. So we're going to go ahead and sell all of our consumables. Okay, so that is, what can we buy now? So if we wanted, we could buy something like an expansion ring, which is pretty cool, but I don't think we want that. There's apparently a disease status effect that I have to be concerned about. I don't think I need to worry about any of these for now. Alright, so... yeah, I mean, everyone in my party is pretty squishy right now. There's not that big a difference between them. They're getting hit for hundreds and hundreds of damage right now. This guy talks a lot for... oh, you can actually... there's actually other shit here. That's cool. So there's actually different things that you can get, which I like. I was wondering whether... like, when I first started playing, I was thinking that eventually I'd unlock new stuff through that guy. And I never ended up getting anything. Alright, so... wow, that place is really far away. Oh, whoops. Well, mistakes were made. I was intending to do this, but I didn't, so... oh no, I've got the vapors. Okay, that's Warcry done. There we go. So Warcry is on everybody. I can start purifying people. I cannot start purifying people because I don't have the spell. Guess I should have put that on my bar, huh? Okay, well, fine. What? Cooldown? That's interesting. Okay, so we can... do that. Unfortunately, I've been surprised a hell of a lot. Oh my god. Oh. That is me getting obliterated. So... what am I gonna do here? Let's see here. Level 105 is very close. So I'm wondering if I want to actually get some experience. The problem that I'm having now is that in the late game, you get access to a bunch of regen items and things. And I don't have any of those tools at my disposal right now. And things have such high attack power values that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to trivialize damage ever again the way that I could in the early game. I feel like enemy damage values might just scale out of control. So I'm actually going to check to make sure that I don't have... There might be some other stuff in here that I'm... This is only 2, so of course they just get an AoE poison out. Okay, so... That's a lot of damage. Alright, so we got a level. We're now 101. Oh, that's weird. I thought it was... Okay, I thought that I had to do something else. Let's see. So what do I want to put points into for him? I don't think he needs any more damage for a while. One of the enemies used a defense plus 50% thing, which only gave it an extra 1,000 damage mitigation. So I should be set for damage. The key is, what is my best strategy for keeping this character alive? And I feel like we maybe need more magic defense. Because he's immune to the magic damage that these enemies are using. But at the same time... I mean, I can only increase his HP by 120. But I can only increase his magic defense by 10. I think I'm going to go with HP for now. I'm going to try to get him up to maybe 4,000 and see how things go from there. Now, for him, he has enough magic defense to suit his purposes for right now. He definitely needs to have more physical defense. The question is whether I want to be investing in it in levels or if I want to be investing into it in some other way. So defense, I could put probably about 10 points into that. That would be 20 damage reduced. But 20 damage reduced is really not very much. 20 damage reduction when you're getting hit for hundreds of damage is just really not a great amount. So I think I want to go with... The problem with increasing his HP is that doesn't increase my mana efficiency at all. I'm going to go ahead and pump some of his defense up. We'll see how that goes. Now as for him, his defense is a little higher. His magic defense is trash. And the question is whether I can keep putting points into his magic defense or not. I basically need to get access to some degree of specialized gear. And before I get access to any sort of specialized gear, my party is going to be a bunch of chumps. They're all going to be really weak. There's really nothing I can do about that. They're all just weak until I get them some better gear. So... as for him... I'm going to pump up his defense a little higher. I want to get his defense up to at least 600, I think. As for him... magic defense... it's too expensive to invest into. Honestly, all of these are really expensive to invest in. I feel like magic defense is probably the best investment for now. But yeah, we're gonna have... a pretty... What? I have to do it again? That's bullshit. I don't even remember how I did it. I don't remember what I did here. There's some 3-hit combo that I did that just did it. Considering that I just stumbled on it, I don't know that I... I don't know that I deserve to have the solution revealed. So that just reduces that by 1. Unfortunately, I keep forgetting what these actually do. So this increases... So I think green is 0, 1, 1. Red is, I believe, is red the one that's -2? No, red is +1, -1. 1, 0. And blue is... It's 2 for that one. I think it's... Yeah, okay. Blue is -2, 0, -1, I believe. Alright. So... we are starting with a 2... No. Yes. A 2, 4, 0. And the goal is to reach either 2, 2, 2 or 3, 3, 3. So, what that means is that... Oops, this is... I didn't actually put in the blue. What does the blue do? It does -2, 0, -2. Alright. So the goal here, we need to have... So clearly I bugged something out, because there's no way to do this in 3 movements. Because I reset it and then it just worked when I hit 3 of the buttons randomly. So, let's see. I think that... with 2, 4, 0 being the goal, or sorry, being the starting point. So I think the goal is basically just to hit red and green to top the other 2 up. So 2 red, and then 2 red, no. Sorry. It's 3 green, 2 red, 1 blue. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, that's -1, not -2. I'm an idiot. So that means that I need to cancel this. So that doesn't change things too much. Just that just means I need to do 2 green instead of 3. Oh. Well, that works. I'm such a dope. Okay, anyway, moving right along. I'm like, it's not possible to get it done in only 3 moves. And then I instantly get it done in 3 moves while I'm trying to do something else. Okay, so we got this. We've also confirmed that the other side of this doesn't have anything else new. And that's a lot of death. Okay. So we don't have anything new in that area, so we're just going to move on. But yeah, the easiest way for me to do it is honestly just to convert it into, like, a math puzzle. And if it's just math, then that's easy. So it didn't occur to me because I'm kind of a dope that... Yeah. that there was an easier way to do it than the way that I was intending to do it. So we've got Toast coming out. We got the large spider eye. And do we have everything explored out here? I think we do. I miss having my deserter's boots. So if I want to deal with the current damage deficit, or the current defense deficit that I've got, then I need like 200 more defense to zero out the damage that these guys have, which is quite a lot. That's quite a lot. So I'm wondering how I'm going to be able to... This next section of the game is going to be really interesting because of the fact that in the previous one, I feel like because the numbers were small, the combat system lends itself to having me play the way that I was playing before. With this one, I need to really think about how I would want to orchestrate things in a way that allows me to succeed. I'm gonna save this. I'm not actually sure where I wandered off to here. Not even attacking the right target, but okay, it's fine. I guess I should have had him steal. Okay. So we'll be able to get a Purify off now. Purify. So this is one of those blue chests that I can't open without... Oh, a rename scroll. Okay. That's not good. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Whoops. I just jumped down into a pit. Oh. Is someone there? Oh, thank goodness. I was beginning to believe I would die in this wretched cave. I was climbing the sheer cliff wall when I slipped and fell to the ground. I would have been alright if the ground had not caved with my fall. I'd broken my leg, but I've been able to survive by quenching my thirst with an underground pool of water. If you could help me return to the Rockwood Inn, I would be eternally grateful. I'm sure my wife is quite distressed at my prolonged absence. So we're warping and heading straight back because we have a person in tow right now that needs to be brought home. Bum, 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 bum. Cyclops spider, that's cool. Okay, I'm looking for... This person upstairs. Oh my goodness, you found my husband. Thanks. Put him on the bed. Darling, you had me worried he's sick. I'm so glad you're safe back with me. You're not moving from that bed for a month. Valiant friend. Your brave kindness deserves a reward. Please accept this key and take whatever you wish from the chest along the wall. I insist. Oh, thank you. We'll be forever in your debt. Please don't hesitate to come with us if you require anything. 25 grand, ambrosia, nectar, perfect elixir. Okay, so we've got 200,000 now. I want to check also. Let's see. He needs... Oh, I guess I can't tell, can I? Yes, I can. He needs 80 grand in order to unlock these blue chests. So, I still don't know if I want to be investing into preempt and agility with Varan. I just don't know. It might be worth investing a little bit into int on Komanaton. My concern about doing that is that it might hurt me a little bit in the late game because it'll put him a little bit behind. But honestly, his magic defense isn't a problem because of his Dark Ward ability. So increasing his int shouldn't I don't think be a problem. Alright, so we're gonna go back over here. Save the game. I guess I'm actually gonna guard. That thing hits hard. Oh shit! Oh good, I'm so glad that I failed. I accidentally double hit down instead of single hit. Unfortunately, that's an extra 400 damage that I didn't need to take, but okay. Bum, bum, bum. One of the problems is that these guys have a really nasty AoE poison nuke. That has me very concerned. So Snarl goes out, but it's gonna die before it gets a chance to use it. Alright, so we're gonna save this. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Oh shit. Critical poison. Blarg. It's painful. So I think that before I move on to other areas, I clearly need to get a couple of things in order. The first thing is that I'm gonna need to get 105. 105 unlocks some really important shit for me, so I'm glad that we're still fighting these same enemies because it means that I can basically Oh shit, did they change the way that that mechanism works? Monster Crippler! Anyway, so what was I saying? It'll allow me to get the first attack with Sordrel, which is a big deal. And it's also going to allow me to possibly get the first attack with Varan. I don't actually know. The first attack with Varan is slightly less important, and by slightly I mean much, much less important. But we've unfortunately only gotten one of them crowd controlled here. And if I can actually get a little bit more defense, I'll be able to keep up with the damage output with healing steel. Ooh, man. We got a poison ring, but can we afford to equip it? I guess we can afford to equip it on Komanaten, now that I think about it. So Komanaten can equip that. Jesus. So we only got one stun off, unfortunately, but we should be able to have him guard. Oh shit! That's not good. And that red mist isn't good either, but it's not that huge a deal, I guess. I'd prefer to just TP out right now, but because I'm done here. Well, I'm not done here, but I'm done with this section. Unfortunately, Komanaten is still paralyzed. Thanks, God Mode. See you later. I just realized that he doesn't have the ability to even stun them anymore. Use Silencing Strike. Okay, Komanaten is back in shape. He can go ahead and use Warcry. Can he? No. I'm gonna guard with everybody. Alright, so... done. So, We're now 102. We have successfully navigated another little bit of this place. We can go ahead and warp the hell out of here. That's not good. That's over. It's over. Alright, well, hopefully we won't run into a pack of 5 again. But yeah, if I had the ability to see crowd control with my thief here, I think I would have a substantially easier time dealing with what's coming out right now. I'm actually surprised that I'm running into enemies, because the last time that I came out of this dungeon, I just walked straight back up to the place. I'm gonna walk around on the plain area because I should have smaller enemy packs to deal with out here. I'm gonna go ahead and Warcry, we're gonna attack. Okay, Varan just died. The poison's gonna kill him. So, these enemies are really fucking deadly. Unfortunately, I accidentally walked in the wrong spot, so I think I'm SOL again. I'm in guard with him. I'm definitely fucked. There's no way. So, the poison is definitely gonna cause the kill, so we need to walk on out of here. Ugh. Okay, I'm actually going to... I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. I'm heading back to rest. I don't know why I'm stockpiling mana. Well, that makes my life easier. Okay, so done with that. Move on with our lives. Let's go ahead and take a nap. Time to take a nap. Alright, so that's done. All done. Alright, so let's see here. You've got 24k on these people. How much do you need for what you need next? So, Rush Assault is fine, but not amazing. Hellfire is fine, but not amazing. Armor Mastery is probably going to be something that I definitely need to get. Wait, what? This has a duration that lasts the entire battle for both effects? Oh, wow. So, Meat Shield gives you double HP and makes you the priority target. I didn't realize that lasted the entire battle. That changes a lot, actually. So... this is fine. It's not amazing. Iron Skin is okay, not amazing. Let's see. I'm going to finish exploring this little place over here. Or at least I'm gonna try. And That is bad. Done. Okay. So, worst case scenario, we can always mug them, but the problem is that now he's paralyzed. So, I'm gonna have to rely on assassinating my way through this entire dungeon, apparently. This is on cooldown. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Alright, so save the game. And what am I doing? So I actually have the ability for him to use his assassinates to insta-gib enemies like this. It's only a 50% chance, it's not guaranteed. But, I mean, a 50% chance of an insta-gib is pretty good when you're as horrifyingly weak as I am right now. So, have I checked here yet? This is the same cave that I just came out of. So what we'd be looking for here is to go down there. So we're gonna try to just assassinate one of these things. We're gonna fail to assassinate because he got paralyzed. Unfortunately, they are attacking Sordrell. I need to move him. He's in the wrong order. He's in the wrong part of the group. He's, I think, either in the front row or the middle row. And that might be acceptable for certain parts, but it's not for this. So we're doing a double war cry. We got one stun, and we got two stuns. Now the key is that once Varan and Sordrell both have access to the fast strike thing, I'll be able to guarantee insta-gibs. I missed a thing there. Okay, I let that go for too long. I'll be able to guarantee insta-gibs on, well, not guarantee. I have a 50% chance of insta-gibbing one of them before the the rounds start. And that'll be very, very good for the beginning here. I'm actually glad that I invested in mana for him, because it turns out that Assassinate's very useful for this. So, let's see. Let's save the game. Which mana do I have? 260. Whoa, so much loot. I had a feeling that I was really, really close. Oh, let's see. Okay, that guy's stunned. Roll gauntlets, I like that. Okay, so this gives me a very slight boost. He actually can equip this, can't he? I'm gonna see, he might be able to equip this poison ring without any negative effects. Okay, we don't need to climb down this. I know where this is gonna go. This is going back. So, we made it out of there. We've got one more thing that we didn't blow up. Oh wow, we made it all the way back. Okay, so we've got one thing that we didn't blow up in there, and we'll go ahead and pop in there to do that. But I think first we are going to get a couple of levels over here. The XP gain here is pretty fast. We've got a lot of EXP coming in. The problem is just that I keep dying. So rather than fight packs that might kill me, I think I'm going to just fight right here. I'm going to equip the lure ring, which is what the guy suggested that we do. And then I'm going to attack this one. Those two are going to guard, and then we'll just assassinate. I don't know how much damage Toast does. I don't know what the base damage of the spell is, so I don't know how much more like, magic defense I need to prevent those from dealing any damage. So we're only getting 2,000 for those packs of one. So that's 5,000. Okay, so Kamanatin is technically taking damage now. So those things do have an int value that is not trivialized by his current stats. So I have 3 more assassinations left. But basically, this is just a repeat of what we needed to do at the beginning of the first game, where we just need to get a few quick fights in so that we can get shit under control. So once I get the monk attacking first, that actually changes things dramatically, because that's multiple enemies' turns that just never happen, right? Okay, well, the monk's gonna die to that, so that's GG right there. But so once we get that initial turn on just him, that's a big deal. When you pair that with Assassinate, that can actually just completely change the scope of things. Particularly since it allows me to pick and choose which target I want to definitely eliminate from the fight. So as an example, that guy there can cast that AoE poison. And that AoE poison is a really, really damn big deal. So I obviously want to prevent that poison from going out at all. And if I can prevent that, then that really changes the scope of the fights from then on. So we want to do that. And we'll be able to do that once we hit 105. Unfortunately, I failed the insta-gib, and I'm out of mana. And luckily we did get... Doesn't matter. Okay. I was gonna say, luckily we did get the paralysis gone. Bow, 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 bow. So... we should be able to fight our way through there, but one thing that's interesting is that I kind of like the fact that the scope of this place... I don't generally like large worlds, I'll be honest, but I actually, in this context, kind of like the idea, because in the context of this setting, right, this world is clearly a bigger world with larger populations, larger cities, and more, like, shit in it. And one of the things about larger populations that's important is that the larger your population, the better the top 1%, or not the better the top 1%, but the better the top person is in your society at any given thing. Like, the person who's best at insert specialty here is going to be better if you have a larger population, because there's going to be more people of high skills because there's just more people generally. So it sort of increases the cap for like how powerful the expectation is in order to be considered strong. If there's only, you know, in the entire world a population measured in thousands, that's very different than a world that's measured in millions. And that's very different than a population that's measured in billions, right? So anyway, I like the fact that the first city that you start in here is such a huge city, because it calls attention immediately to this world is not like the world that we just left. And we saw the scale of these cities was much larger than the scale of the cities just generally, because we saw the world map just now when it was going through the introduction. And I really like that, because, again, we're starting the game at level 100, right? We're at the apex of the power where we were, you know, basically gods amongst men in the previous location. And we come here, and these are enemies that, okay, sure, random people aren't fighting them, but the Adventurers Guild has had these guys under control, and we're just getting obliterated by them, right? Why? The answer is because this is, you know, you're not in Kansas anymore. This is a much stronger location with much scarier creatures in it. So, we can now increase our stats. I do think that I'm going to try to get my defense up to the point where I can get this under control. For him, I'm going to think about it for a minute. For him, we want... I think we're just going to increase whichever of his stats is the cheapest at any given time. So we're going to go with defense for now, but we're going to do defense, then HP, and magic defense, and all that stuff. Now, bear in mind that I should be putting points into agility eventually, and I should probably do that in his next level, just because points in agility decrease the probability for enemies to ambush me, and it also increases the accuracy of his steals. So, and it also will eventually increase the efficacy of It's a Trap. The concern that I have is just that I don't want to... I don't want to put more points in there than I need to. Any excess points there are somewhat wasteful. So, for him... I'm going to just stockpile HP for a while. Because he has a degree of capacity. Actually, since we are fighting in here, I don't think I need the Ascendant Ring. I'm going to equip the Augury Ring on him. There we go. And 4,200 experience. Unfortunately, I haven't found any of the Emerald Armor yet. If I could get either the Emerald Armor or that other armor type, I would, or the Emerald Robe or whatever it is, then I would be able to do some cool shit. But for now... we're stuck getting hit by things and being sad because they hit hard. And cause poison, and poison sucks. Okay, so we're gonna guard, we're gonna go ahead and assassinate, and hopefully the assassinate works. And it does not. Okay, so... That's interesting. So this requires level 105. I'd guess that I'm going to need to use First Strike. I'm going to need to learn this before I can get the other one. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm hopeful that it will do what I'm hoping for. So we're going to do armor for him next. Oh, that's interesting. It also reduces his odds of being targeted. Alright, we need to save up a decent bit of stuff just to get that. So here's the question. When it says that it's a normal attack, does it mean one attack, or does it mean 1 WU? Warm-up? Yeah, that looks like warm-up. And that's only one hit. So, first strike is not that great. Alright, I was intending to do some of the stuff in between the two streams that I was planning on doing today, but I think have to end things here for now because I need to get some stuff done in the real world. So, we managed to get through the final boss of the previous game, and we've got a pretty good idea of what we've got coming at us in this game. I'm a little surprised that I started out at level 100, but I think the way that it works is I start out at level 100, and do the enemies start at 100 too? I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'll find out after I have finished the game and the blind aspect of this is over. This will be a blind run, unlike the previous run where I pretty much knew everything and I was doing research and stuff to try and do it as in the most efficient possible manner. On this run, it's a blind run. I'm going to do the best I can with the information that I have at my disposal, and that's that. So anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure to stream for you today, and I hope to see you all again next time for more of this expansion. I'm liking it so far.